By the way, I do want to say I didn't know the results of anything until Ram shot the file over.
Is it opening now? Yay! That was so funny earlier. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our weekly podcast called the Weekly Apologies Podcast. As always, I'm the Blue Ranger. Over to my right is You Need a Hug. Down below me is a crazy hippie, also known as Hoop, and our returning guest, our first returning guest, is Ramsbug, a very excitable and proud community member, and
like a puppy.
Like a puppy, and
Our podcast secretary, community manager. Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not doing this week. We're not doing it.
No, we're not doing this. We're not gonna go back into.
Don't show them the spreadsheets.
We won't.
What's funny is Rams wanted to make it.
I mean,
he's
got a point.
We didn't even ask her.
It's true, though.
I thought it would be helpful to you boys.
I'm screwing with your green screen for a second, Hug.
Nobody fucks my green screen, dude. I'm good. It's cool.
Okay.
Just joking.
Hug just quits.
I don't know why I got so hard to chroma Hug. There we go. We're good. But we decided to bring Rams back this week because a couple of weeks ago we discussed the game awards that just recently happened, and we talked about our predictions and where we thought things would fall, what we wanted to have happen, what we thought would happen, things along those lines. And I mean, frankly, there was some surprising ones, some not so surprising ones, and when we decided to talk about this topic, I thought, why not bring Rams back to round out this little 2-episode series, so to speak. Hope you were sitting so still, I thought you froze.
No, I'm reading stuff. So
gotcha. So that being said, I just wanted to get us started on that path. Rams, you want to just remind everybody a little bit about yourself, just to kind of fill everybody back in?
So I am Ramsbug. I mod for Blue. I also mod for Say No to Rage, Lono, A-Starmer, and Bob the Booza, and Adrenaline Junkie, and a bunch of other people. Twitch fanatic and big fan of the community. Got into Twitch through the Destiny community and fell in love with all of it. So I do work in a gaming type situation. Let's just say that without getting too into it. And so gaming is pretty much my life. Ta-da!
Yay!
Nerd.
I am a nerd. I like Star Trek and games.
Wow, what a nerd. But we love her.
It is true. We all
stop talking. Ooh, stop it. Just
What? Oh, fine.
I'm just joking.
I mean, Hug's a nerd too.
Mm-mm.
Nice Twitch hat, Hug.
What's up? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't really have a lot of comments on that one. But so if anyone has anything else they want to talk about, we can jump right into this, because I know when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and Hug, you were not here for that conversation, which is why I'm really really stoked that you're here this week. And I would have liked to get your predictions and things. If I'd thought ahead enough, I would have been like, hey, give me your predictions in the Game Awards, and then we could have compared those. But
I didn't even know when they were going on until I looked at Twitter. And
then it was everywhere. It's one of those. It's like the least advertised thing that happens very suddenly and is everywhere. But
yeah.
We did have a good conversation about it it was the week of Thanksgiving, so it was the day before Thanksgiving. We had a really good conversation about it. Went through a ton of it was literally the only topic we talked about the entire time. So we didn't really get to expand on anything other than the Game Awards. So I wanted to jump right into this, unless somebody had something they wanted to talk about first, kind of get it out of the way.
Hug wants to talk about Grey's Anatomy.
God damn it.
That's
God
true. I
forgot.
Gosh, this is why we need Rams, our podcast secretary. Go ahead, Hug.
Okay. This is an article about who is the best all-time couple of Grey's Anatomy, and it has 8 different couples, but only one is important because it's Izzy Stevens and Danny Duquette. The reason why that's important is because it's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. There you go.
So who Hug's power couple is?
There you go. That's it.
Well done. For those of you that don't
Nothing
know,
else
every
matters.
week we get a little tidbit of information from Hug regarding Grey's Anatomy, his favorite television show. So
I mean, we all know it is Hug, so.
by the end of this, I really want it to be. I want like a year and a half down the
I'm
road.
not gonna watch a single episode while we're
A
doing
year and a
this.
half down the road, we have 3 partnered streamers and a Twitch staffer in this podcast, and I want to find out that you're just like, you know what? I didn't love it, but then I started watching it, and goddamn, that'd be great. He's just like, he has his 14 seconds figured out from his head. He's not even looking anything up. He's just like, oh my god, Sunday night. Is it Sunday night? Is that what
Doesn't even come on Sunday nights. Why am I correcting you? I should shut up.
Oh, you're not making this any better for yourself, Hug. So, the one thing on this spreadsheet as we get into the Game Awards that I don't see is all the nominees. So, I don't know if you have that list in front of you, Rams.
I can shoot you guys the link. Give me a second. From the original spreadsheet that I made you.
I got one pulled up from Polygon. I'm just scrolling through.
yeah,
It
get
has
one
like
more.
all 4 of the people and then the winner bolded out. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I should. Okay.
Boop, boo-doo.
Let me get something. There we go. Oh, that doesn't.
Share.
Oh, thank you for the link, Hug. Appreciate it. Very good.
Oh, you know, one thing I do want to do real quick
Go for it.
is, if you don't mind, I'd actually love to shout out the dude who did my art recently.
Oh, by all means. Do you want me to actually
He's
grab?
an amazing, amazing man. Super nice, super easy to work with. I absolutely love him. And I'm not going to show the art yet or here because,
I was gonna say I could throw your new logo on the screen real quick if you'd like me to do that.
no, not yet. No.
Nope,
No
it's all good.
secrets.
I need to know how to type every once in a while. That'd be pretty good to my
I think
you
you're
know,
picking.
If I think I'm hearing the right person, it sounds like you type like a 2-year-old because it's just click,
Yeah.
click, click, click.
right. No, like my brain had like, I was talking and then I was typing thinking, wait, what letter was I going for? And then I had to rethink it. There we go. Done and done.
All that hair is actually occupying space inside too. That's-
It is.
It's inward hair.
There we go.
yeah.
Incoming drawing, an amazing man, awesome artist. You guys definitely got to give him some love because he's a blast, absolute blast to work with. And yeah, so I'm excited.
Whoa! I broke my webcam. I
Wow.
broke my webcam.
Oh,
Wow.
rip blue.
Break everything.
Yep,
Break
legitimately.
everything.
No one was looking at you anyway. Blue.
I
It's
know they
fine.
weren't. All right, we're fixed now. I'm backwards from normal, but I fixed it. We're just gonna leave it as is. I was trying to get fancy with it, but no, the artwork that he did, because I've seen the artwork, I've seen the new logo and everything. It's top notch stuff. I'm probably gonna contact him myself. Actually, I'm really impressed. That's artwork that I really appreciate.
I'm telling Dr. Blood. I'm telling him right now.
No, I actually offered Dr. Blood to do a new logo for me, and he kind of said, I'm good. So I was like, hey, I was like, you know, he was like, that's not my thing. I don't do logos, and I was like, all right,
Right.
man, no problem. So,
Get
I
good.
figured I'm not gonna fight with that. I ain't gonna fight with it. So, so I've got this. Are we all on the same list? I'm on Polygon. What's everyone else
Yeah,
on?
we're on Polygon.
Yeah, I whispered it to everybody.
I have to.
Yeah, no, I got it
grab
from
it.
you, Hug. I appreciate it. Oh, you gave it to everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I just want to know, do we want to work from the bottom up? You know, kind of work our way towards Game of the Year?
I don't think it really matters.
Sure.
This is the full list, not the shortened list that we had previously. Just heads up.
Okay. Well, we can just
Oh yeah,
speed
This
through
this
things.
is
'Cause
everything.
This is everything. Holy shit.
Do you want the original list? I think I have it here.
My goodness. Rams has everything.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm not surprised Overwatch won best esports game.
It was a cool World Cup. It really was. The way that they did all the nominees and the actual cup itself was really cool. It was oh, the people they chose and the people that were in the how they did the captains and stuff of the team, like no one was like butt hurt or anything. I feel like if it was Destiny, there would be like butt hurt people and like drama and stuff like that. Where I feel like this community really was just like, cool, go for it. Am I blushing?
Destiny is a pretty
There's
community of
Jolly
butthurt
right there.
recently, so that makes sense.
Here we go. I don't know how to share this with you. Can I do it in Skype?
You just put it in. Oh no, that's a link, isn't it?
I'll put it in Discord
That'll work.
in the break room.
All right.
Cloud9. I still haven't played Oxenfree, still gotta do that.
It's so good. It's so good. So
I'm actually really glad Rams never put in the best fan creation because I would never be able to decide.
all I got was a what the heck? All I got was a picture. I didn't get.
You click the link, not the.
Yeah. Got it now.
Internet's hard, Blue.
I know. I'm struggling right now.
I mean, it can be, yeah.
It can be. It's
Is that
rough.
that
It's the
number
internet.
here again?
So there's our list. And then game of the years. Yeah, we'll go through this list because that's where we kind of were before.
Yeah.
And I like that. So we oh man, and you took notes of everything we said? Damn, I didn't even realize that. Holy shit.
Wow.
Damn. Okay. All right. So, we're gonna start with.
Are you talking about this predictions thing?
Yeah, the one that the spreadsheet she gave us. I didn't realize that you were taking note of everything we said. My goodness.
Who does that?
You're just gonna be the podcast stenographer.
You must get called in for jury duty a lot.
Oh,
Only
wow.
once, and I was taking vacation, so I skipped it.
Oh.
All right. Top
I
notch.
was in a different country. What can you do? I was in a different country.
Fair enough. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna
It
do?
was work. It was work, not vacation, but whatever. Okay.
Whatever. It's all the same. So, okay. Well, the first one that we went over was best studio. Do you want to read it, Hoop? You want to read it with the nominees?
I don't know, Hug. Do you want to read it?
He asked you, sir.
Did
I
Hug
know,
want to
I'm-
read it?
So won't you
I'm
answer the
just
question?
Oh my
passing
god,
off
okay,
to
I'm reading
people.
it.
Come
Recognizing Game Studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation and game direction design. It was Blizzard, DICE, ID, Naughty Dog, and Respawn. So Overwatch, Battlefield, Doom, Uncharted 4, and Titanfall 2. See?
So I didn't catch a word of what Rams just said. So I'm gonna read it so everyone can understand.
Oh wow.
Best studio in game direction. Recognizing a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in the game direction and design. Blizzard for Overwatch. DICE for Battlefield 1. ID for Doom. Naughty Dog for Uncharted 4. And Respawn for Titanfall 2.
So, Rams, she predicted a Titanfall 2. Hoop, you predicted Doom. I also said Titanfall 2. Hug, could you give us a prediction, or are you just, I already know the answer. I can't give you what you would have thought would win. No?
The winner has a ribbon right next to his name.
I
There's
know.
no
I just
prediction
didn't.
I
I
can
just
give.
didn't. I
So
should've
instead of
asked you for
Hug
predictions.
giving a prediction, Hug, what would you have chosen?
I think that's what
Out of these,
Yeah.
out of these four, best studio game direction. What do they even mean by game direction? Just saying.
Like where they went with the game, like
Outstanding creative
Overwatch.
vision and innovation.
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Okay, gotcha.
Is
No,
that-
no, I wasn't gonna say Overwatch. I was just reading.
Okay.
I was just thinking out loud. No, I guess Overwatch. Yeah.
And we had a poll that we ran at the same time as the last podcast, and actually ran through whenever Rams stopped it. And so the stream voted Overwatch, and the winner was in fact Overwatch.
I
for
was
best
really surprised at how on point the stream was. The stream
Yeah.
almost got every single one of them.
Yeah, it's
We
kinda
did not.
shocking.
The stream knew what was up. We didn't.
And one of these you talked me out of, so I'm a little mad at you for that. But
Stop being so persuadable.
anyway, so the stream picked Overwatch, and the actual was Overwatch, and that stunned me for studio direction.
I I honestly don't think it's that surprising because it's honestly really different for Blizzard, and they did really good with it.
But different for Blizzard. I mean, think about it. Titanfall 2 took a game that everyone loved but wasn't enough and turned this amazing game out. And Doom hadn't had a game in what, 12 years? And turned out this amazing shooter experience. I would
But
argue I don't know.
As a company, Blizzard took the biggest risk, the biggest leap of faith into this game, and it fucking exploded.
Yeah, well, because there's a little bit of that. It's Blizzard behind it, Blizzard fans don't say no to Blizzard games.
Yeah, it is a little bit of that. Hey, it's that Blizzard thing, but it is still one of the most played games now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When I spent a lot of time in the Destiny directory, and when I started telling people that they needed to stop harping on Overwatch because it's not going anywhere, they're like, the hype's gonna die down like all those games, and I go, have you looked at the top 10 on Twitch? It's, World of Warcraft is always up there. StarCraft 2 pops in and out, but then you have
League's always first.
League's always first, but as far as Heroes of the Storm, which isn't even a great MOBA, is always up there. There's always 4 or 5 Blizzard games in the top 10 of Twitch, always. And Destiny fans were always excited that they were in the top 10 a lot, but I'm like, no, you gotta pay attention. Overwatch ain't going anywhere. It's gonna be top 5 game for a long time, and it has been. So you're totally right. You're totally right about the it being exciting and a lot of people playing it. I just, when I hear people saying it's Team Fortress 2, and I know they're very different, but when I hear someone make a direct, are you gonna tell me there isn't a direct correlation between the way those games play? Whereas Doom has nothing like it, It's like, that's creative direction to me.
So when I was making this spreadsheet, though, and y'all were talking about Doom and how y'all thought it was the choice for this, and we're talking about Doom as a whole for innovation, y'all both said they took their old thing, they went back to go forward and things like that. And the reality is they did the same thing with good graphics and awesome music. Innovative, no. Cool and awesome and amazing and stuff like that. Innovative, no. I'd still say. So I do think Overwatch over my choice of Uncharted. I thought that the visual innovation of Uncharted would bring it forward in this category. But good on Overwatch.
Oh, it says on the spreadsheet that you picked Titanfall.
Oh, I thought I put whatever. But Titanfall, yeah, I remember. So Titanfall, I had chosen because of the difference between Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. I thought it showed direction, which is a part of the category. I don't feel like, I love Overwatch, don't get me wrong. I don't feel like innovative. It's a MOBA, in a way.
As a game type, it wasn't innovative, but as a company, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I just, what, I don't know how else to put this, and I know everyone's gonna yell at me for this, but I'm gonna make the Battleborn comparison, but just shut up and hear me out. You had characters that are almost, but I'm saying people draw this comparison between the two games a lot, even calling Battleborn the crappy Overwatch, but nobody said the crappy Titanfall or the crappy Doom or the crappy Uncharted. A week before Overwatch came out, a game with almost identical characters came out. You know what I mean? And that's what Overwatch has. Overwatch has characters. They have these heroes that you pick and use, and Gearbox released a game a week before it that had almost the same idea, just played differently. So I don't know. That's where I'm like, innovation. I don't know. There's other games like that happening all over the place. So
on that list, all of these games have other games exactly like them. Some of them are just number 2.
Yeah, I feel that.
Again, as a company, Blizzard, again, it just took the biggest leap. Battlefield 1 is a Battlefield game. Congratulations. Doom is obviously still Doom. It's run and gun and blow everything to little pieces. Uncharted 4 is Uncharted. It's a pretty looking puzzle shooter. And then Titanfall 2 is a better Titanfall. There are all these companies have made the exact same game better. except for
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I just have a hard time with Overwatch on a
think
lot of these categories.
with your Overwatch to Battleborn comparison, I just had the thought of like if Overwatch just multiplayer was the same as Battleborn's, I think people would have still went and played Overwatch just because of the name Blizzard. And so
Oh, absolutely. No, you're totally
Yeah.
right. All I'm saying though is when it comes to the innovation, I can't help but see Soldier 76 and Oscar Mike right next to each other going, they're the same fucking character. I have a hard time not seeing that comparison. And then
Again-
when you say innovative, it's a week apart. The two different companies made
Any-
the same
So,
character.
Any
To
hero
me-
shooter has similar characters.
Sure.
I've made this argument last time we talked about
I
this.
know, and you're not
to be
you're
that
not
exact same
wrong.
person.
But I'm making that comparison in terms of innovation.
Well, yeah, so in
know?
that sense, like if you want to go with innovation on a game direction, like you said, like there's a game to compare Overwatch to, and then saying that hey, if they had the same multiplayer as Battleborn, it'd have basically been the same thing.
So y'all-
just somebody
y'all
had a bigger
saying-
name, so then that's why that they're gonna pick the winner for that reward or
I
whatever.
know that y'all are both big Battleborn fans, and I get that. But
No.
the shut up.
Oh.
The characters being similar, yes, we see that all the time. The difference between Battleborn and Overwatch, and why Overwatch is more popular, is not the characters; it's the gameplay. Period. Straight up, it's the gameplay.
No, yeah, because the
Play a 10-minute Overwatch map, or I can play a 40-minute Battleborn epic whatever.
You're
like-
not wrong. Like you're not even a little bit wrong about that. But what Hug is saying is if they had released capture the flag or not capture the flag, capture the point style gameplay instead of the MOBA.
Capture, meltdown, and
if they had gone with think about it, if they had the same game types as not Blizzard, Overwatch, which is exactly what we're talking. We're just talking about game types now. We're not talking about the character models or anything. You'd be like, oh shit, these are the same game. It's just which one do you like to play more? And I have a feeling that consoles would have leaned more towards Battleborn in that case. I actually do, because I think Battleborn is a better console game than Overwatch is. But I don't know. When it comes to innovation, there's two games that came out that everyone compared side by side right next to each other within a week of release. And it's hard for me to go innovation when there's that right next to each other. I don't know. So
I can say, yeah, they look, good, they have characters and characters that have archetypes. I get that. But I think what Hoop was saying is the gameplay itself, the MOBA style, character-based gameplay was innovative for Blizzard. I totally get that.
Yeah, no, you're right. And not to go too far
Hoop's
off
right.
topic.
I'm disagreeing with them.
Not to go too far off topic, but I didn't know this till recently. Blizzard has apparently hired people to work on a new shooter game that's supposed to be completely different from Overwatch. And all I can think is if that's a StarCraft universe, almost Destiny-like game. Like that could be, I'm being honest though, because I think those shared world shooters have a lot of, like those RPG shared world shooters have a lot of potential right now. Look at The Division is making a comeback right now. Destiny is still going strong.
It is. Don't grimace.
And I think Blizzard sees that trend and has an opportunity. I think there's an opportunity there for Blizzard to capitalize because, like I said, Blizzard can make anything good, and I think if they were to make that game, it would be amazing. So I'm just really excited about the concept. Even any shooter, I'm excited about. So if Blizzard wants to make another shooter that isn't just a esports style competitive game, fucking let's go. Like I'm all about it. So
Blizzard making a story game?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, how well the Overwatch story stuff how well has that been doing?
I mean, those shorts
would that
are
necessarily be a
amazing.
bad thing?
Amazing.
The short's amazing. The
Amazing.
lore is fantastic. So yes, they
But
actually did very
you
good
know
of a
what?
story.
Off topic again, and I hate to go back to Destiny. People love the Overwatch lore, and it's the same shit that people complained about relentlessly with Destiny. Oh, it's not in the game. I have to go read it. I have to go look it up on the internet. It's the same
And that's
shit.
the difference.
Because
That's
it's
the
fun to
difference.
read.
So Blue, that's the difference.
Nobody
is
reads.
Destiny lore is pure words. And I printed out Book of Sorrows. I have it at my desk at work. I'm not even joking. It's a beautiful, beautiful
It's
piece of
amazing.
lore.
The lore in
It's
Destiny is
moving,
unbelievable.
It's so unique. I mean, Book of Sorrows is art.
Yeah,
It's
it really
wonderful.
is.
But you have to read use
Yeah.
words and brain and
It's
stuff.
a novel. Most people don't
Overwatch
want to
is
read novel.
movies on YouTube.
I-
That's
I-
why people
I-
think
Or
it's that.
I
quick
hear you, but-
paragraphs too, or comics.
Sure.
It's something that someone wants to read, or like they can take a quick moment to read
and
it.
you can
and watch
access it while you're updating your game. It's just right
Exactly.
there.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I totally hear you, and
Like,
I
they did
wish
it. They did it.
I wish there was a better delivery system within Destiny for that,
too.
but I just have the hardest time when people go, "Oh, the lore in Overwatch." I'm like, I'm sorry, I played Overwatch for like 100 hours and I didn't get any lore except for "Cheers, love." Like, I'm at a little bit of a loss on that one, so. But I know that it's there. I've watched the shorts. They are phenomenal. They are. I want a Pixar movie. I want Pixar to pick up
Yeah.
Overwatch
Oh,
and just
God.
Blizzard to make a
Don't
movie.
even tease that.
Just a CG movie.
Blizzard.
know.
I want Blizzard and
Some
Pixar.
more Tally
though, 'cause
just like went.
I know. Yeah. A whole bunch of buttholes just puckered, getting excited. Anyway, so the winner was Overwatch, and I mean, I don't think if Battlefield 1 had won that one, I would have been like, huh? But otherwise, I'm not like super upset about any of them. I just,
I get hoops perspective really makes sense in my brain. I think.
Lucio is meta. Okay, so.
He is though.
Why is that
We need new
fun? Oh.
characters.
It's an
It's
Overwatch thing, Hug.
Yeah, it's
I know how much Overwatch you played. Huh?
Sorry, I'm at a loss. I must have missed some.
Ah.
Ignore
So,
me.
and yes, you missed Hug's 14-second speech. So,
Yeah.
best narrative. Hug, why don't you read best narrative, the nominees and the winner, please?
The best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. There's Firewatch. There's some game called Inside. There's Mafia 3, Oxenfree, and Uncharted 4.
And hold on, some game called Inside. We gotta talk later.
What?
We're
You
gonna-
you don't know anything about Inside?
No, I
Did you ever
don't.
play Limbo?
That's,
Hug, you wanna-
that's like the side scroller
Yeah.
game or whatever.
Yeah. Hug, don't
Yeah.
lean back, by the way.
It is not
you
Battleborn,
disappear
he's never
off the
played it.
camera.
Is he really? Lean back. Lean back. Lean back. No.
Sorry, I meant
I'm leaning
blue.
back.
I was talking. I was looking at Hug.
Yeah, that's why I sat
Yeah,
back
you-
up. That's why I sat back
Yeah,
up.
you disappeared.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
the winner for this was Uncharted. Best narrative went to Uncharted. I did listen to some people.
Understandable.
I
Figures.
Heard, yeah, I know it's the
It's
biggest name.
it's
on
a
this
popular
list.
game series already,
Well,
and
It had a
it's
very-
story-based game, right?
Yeah.
So
It is. It's story based. The story is amazing. That was my prediction. It was also the stream's prediction. So good job, stream. I unwillingly went with it. I knew it was gonna win. I knew it was
Yeah,
gonna win.
I went with my heart
Obviously.
and said Oxenfree, but I did listen to a couple guys last night talk about Mafia 3 for a while, and they made the story. Like, I have Mafia 3, and I haven't played it yet, but they made the
played it.
story sound freaking amazing. They were talking
yeah, the
about
story
it,
in 3 is really nice.
and I had no idea the time frame and the setting and the characters and stuff. And I was like, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for Mafia 3. But Oxenfree, I wish I could talk about it more without spoiling it. I genuinely think that if you haven't played Oxenfree, you really, really should. Or because Hoop loves when I do this, watch my YouTube playthrough. And
Sell out.
Hold on, guys. Let me just grab Blue's
Hashtag
fucking
sell out.
YouTube here.
Here, I'll grab it.
quick, everyone spam chat.
pass.
Hashtag sellout. Oh no, he's advertising his own YouTube on his own channel.
That's one. Let's keep an ongoing count, like a death counter.
Took a death counter. But
Can we make a command for sellout counter, please?
oh no. So
Need an air horn and then have somebody say sell out.
But I thought Oxenfree had like a moment in the game that actually one of the people that I talked to about the game in depth with missed and was like, I have to play the whole thing over again. But there's a moment in the game where I just go, oh my god! Like, it's so interesting, it's so cool. And I didn't play Uncharted 4, so I don't know. But Firewatch was fun, but I don't think it had the best narrative. It was a great narrative, but it's a linear story. It just sort of happens to you. Inside, I love that. You know, Rams can talk to no end about Inside and how you build your own narrative.
I'm gonna try to contain it, but yeah, the basis Hug. You should definitely play it.
Looks pretty freaking sweet, actually.
It is.
There's no dialogue. The story is told through the environment and the music. Yeah. Which is totally unique, and it blew my mind that it made a nomination for this category. I knew it wasn't going to win, but it just blew my mind that, like, when you play it, your interpretation of the story is going to be different than mine, and that's totally cool.
I like that. I like story games like that because
I think you'd like playing
if it's always the same. You know, nobody can really. I don't know. People can give their opinions about it, but it's all going to be the same. If this is something like that, then. Yeah, I like that a lot actually. So
it's a 3-hour playthrough on a weekend.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You could pump that out.
$12.99 or something.
You could pump that out in a stream, no problem, man. You'd enjoy it, I think. But no, I mean, Inside.
Well,
is a great game.
maybe in a few years.
Maybe in a few years.
I'm gonna save my pennies.
But luckily, it started at $20, and you'll be able to get it on sale pretty cheap sooner or later. So. But you know, you're right. It makes perfect sense. Uncharted is going to win this category, which is almost disappointing, but at the same time, I get it.
It's disappointing for gamers. You know?
Yeah, it's tough because it's always everyone roots for the underdog. And if Inside or Oxenfree had won that, you know, personally, I loved it. You know, all I'm going to say about Inside without ruining it is there's a moment in that game where you go, "What the fuck?" and it like sustains itself. It's crazy, that moment. And Oxenfree just has one of those stories that as it builds, and it's a 2D side-scrolling, you know, almost click and point adventure kind of game, but there's something about it that really struck a nerve with me, and so to see it on the list made it kind of justified my opinion of the game and my thoughts of the game while I played it. And I would have loved to see one of those two games win, but you know, obviously Uncharted 4 is going to be its own animal, you know.
Yeah.
But let's move on to best art direction here. Rams, do you want to give reading another shot?
For outstanding creative and technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
I understood her.
Firewatch, Inside, Overwatch, Uncharted 4.
A quick footnote to those that couldn't hear over a hippie yelling. The first one was Abzu.
So,
Bless you.
This one is the one, Inside 1.
Oh, cool.
I was like, Uncharted's gonna win, and that was totally my choice because of their innovative art. And Inside won it.
So, I actually kind of understand why Inside won it because it's a very beautiful game, and Uncharted it's got a nice look to it. But I don't know. I feel it's always been a pretty game, and so I don't feel like that's changed much.
I was going for like their innovation. Like that game is gorgeous and it goes in 4K, and you know, like that's innovative. You know. Okay, but it exists.
I'm looking at best art direction going, I voted for Overwatch in this. Like, I get it. There's some, like, I don't remember that at all.
I listened to the podcast.
I think that's
it's a very pretty game actually. Overwatch is a very
it is game. And you look at the details on like Reaper's guns and things like that. Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, I think this is when you guys started pushing me to not just say what I wanted to win, but saying what I thought would win. Because I don't know, I the way you talk about Inside is how I feel about Abzu, and I think Abzu has Inside beat.
Oh, you talked about Abzu for 30 minutes when we got to this. Don't worry about that. That happens.
By the way, Abzu's on sale right now on Xbox. Just letting everyone know.
By the way, make sure to follow Blue on YouTube.
Hey, thanks for selling out for me.
Hashtag sell out. I think the stream probably was
50
swayed by
cents
us
now.
too.
What?
I think the stream was probably swayed by us because I chose Uncharted, you guys chose Overwatch, and the stream chose Uncharted and Overwatch. It was a tie.
Yeah. I hear you. Abzu playing through it. it just blew my mind. There was parts where I just was like melting. And Inside, like I said, is a very awesome game and the visuals are great. But there's just something about the magnitude and the scale of Abzu while still being this minor experience that's very personal. I don't know. The art direction. Have you played Abzu, Rams?
I watched 2 people go through it all. Not you. I'll check it out on your YouTube. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel
I
like,
like
Inside.
I've trained
Inside
them.
took this because Abzu's a very beautiful game visually, but Inside, it's a very gray game, but the art and details are what
Tells the
drive you
story.
to make the story.
Yeah.
And so it's not just a pretty game. What you're staring at that's pretty is also making your mind think and work up. This is what's happening here. This happened here.
It's the visual cues.
Yeah.
No, I hear you, but I look at Inside and say it's gonna be a really weird comparison. It's Limbo meets Schindler's List, and yeah, Schindler's List. There was one color in Schindler's List. Do you remember?
I remember it.
And
The
that
blood
was-
lipstick. I remember it.
And the girl's jacket. It's only red. It is black and white and red. And the way you think about Inside, I mean, without giving out too much, it's got the same vibe as Limbo, but it's these people being lined up and brought through and inspected and all this stuff. That's the best comparison I can come up with the game. And I don't know, Abzu just made me so damn happy. It was so bright and colorful, and this blue fucking whales like jumping out of the water and shit. Oh, it was.
I wonder if this
You're
was.
a child, is what you're saying.
I like
So-
bright flashing colors. We all do.
So I know that, and I don't know which ones. I know that some of these nominations were chosen by a panel of dudes, and some of them were viewer choice, kind of thing, gamer choice. So I don't know which ones are which, but I'm curious if this kind of seemed like a panel choice. As much as I love Inside, I'm wondering if viewer choice would have gone with Abzu.
That's an interesting thought.
It's just a thought.
But, I mean, I don't know. A Hug, I'd love to get your thought on that. For best art direction on any of these games. Abzu, Firewatch, Inside, Overwatch, and Uncharted 4. I feel like you've watched a decent number of those or played. I know you've played Overwatch, right?
I played Overwatch, and that's it.
But I know you've
Inside,
seen...
I just heard about. Abzu, I've just heard about. I'm looking at these games, and Abzu probably looks pretty. It looks good compared to those other two, and then Uncharted 4, I've never even
play,
touched an Uncharted
Journey?
game. So, huh?
Did you ever play Journey?
No.
Was it an indie title? Oh, okay. It's like the same people who made Journey, but it's very, very, I don't know. I thought it was better than Journey. But, no, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad Inside won. That's awesome that an indie title takes it, absolutely. But I just love them pretty colors so damn much. I mean, I'm not going to skip over the next one, but I'm just going to address it really quickly. Best music and sound.
There was no other choice.
I mean, we all said Doom. It wasn't on the survey, so Stream didn't get to vote on this. The winner was Doom. I mean, when you're looking, the options were Battlefield 1, Doom, Inside, Res Infinite, never heard of it, Thumper, never heard of it. So, I mean, you're looking at Battlefield 1, Doom, and Inside. Inside had an interesting score, but it really only went with the game, which is not a bad thing. It helps the game immensely.
Soundscape.
Yeah.
And Battlefield... Go ahead, Hug.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any music on Inside. I just watched the trailer. The sound was muted, but just guessing, just looking at it, it's like was it more like a peaceful music kind of thing, or
it was a soundscape, meaning sometimes the sound would drop completely for effect, and then it would build sometimes with random sound, so like cannon as an example in one of the scenes, and you wouldn't really notice it, but suddenly sounds built on each other to form a music type thing. There was some music in it, but it was mostly like, again, a soundscape, just an atmospheric thing.
Okay.
Thumper, by the way, Blue is almost solely musical game, by the way.
Thumper is a bunny, Bambi's best friend.
I was waiting for it.
BFFs.
Wow,
Haven't
it's got
watched
a
a
10
Disney
out
movie
of
in
10
forever.
on Steam.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's a really nice looking game visually, and the music is nice in it. But I wouldn't play music outside of it. The Doom soundtrack. I listen to the Doom soundtrack.
That's where Doom wins
constant
this one, is because the Doom soundtrack makes. And here's the funny part. My story is I always stream with my own music. So the first thing I do on most games, especially when it's just like a game where you're running around shooting monsters, is I turn the music off and turn my own music on. And it wasn't until I started streaming directly through the PS4 that I just let the music happen. And I was like, what the fuck have I been doing? And it was a massive improvement on the game. The game was already great, and it just made it so much better. And now that people, including myself, actually want to take the music out of the game and put it directly into my own, iPhone or iPad or whatever the hell.
I have 3 playlists on my bot with the soundtrack for Doom.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah,
and so it makes sense that won every single time. Like 10 times out of 10, Doom's gonna win. I mean, Hugg, you've gotten around to Doom, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Hugg's played a game.
What is this? I don't play anything. Yeah.
It's better than me. I play games for an hour and a half.
Don't worry,
and then I
Hugg.
go back
There's
to them.
there's 3 lists here where I played.
There's
no
not a
games
whole
on.
lot of time. I don't have that. I don't have that
We're
time.
busting your chops. I
Okay.
more so just wanted to know if you played the game because somebody had an interest in you playing it because of making sure you had it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure you. I just wanted to make sure you
Yes.
actually got to playing it at some
Yes, I
point.
did.
Good, because the music's fantastic, and it's top notch. But I just wanted to kind of skip through that one because I mean there was was there any other choice?
No.
What's
up?
I mean,
Hey there.
she was with you last night. Huh?
Hi.
What?
Your
What'd you
chat
say?
comment.
No.
Never mind.
No?
We're right over his head.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
No,
I
I-
know it.
It's just a
She's
child.
sad because she was with
It's
me last
okay.
night. Yeah, I get
She
it.
was really
Yeah,
sad.
I
Like
get it.
scared of you, bro.
Yeah, I saw the face. Her face just dropped. She was like, "No,
That man's gross. He's
No.
gross.
Yo, that guy's disgusting."
Mom,
Oh,
get
she
him away
can't
from
hear.
me.
All right. So now moving on, we
To
have
best independent game.
Hoop. Take it away.
For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Now, I have to say, I started Hyper Light Drifter thinking, this would be a quick game. Like, I finished Metro last night. I was like, okay, so let's jump Hyper Light. It should be a pretty quick game. Like, 2 minutes, I was like, oh god, this is a story and I love it. Like, I was drooling over my keyboard how amazing that game felt, sounded, and looked.
I gotta
Wait, which
pick it
game
up
is this?
still. Hyper Light Drifter.
Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I literally I picked it up. I was like, I had to put it aside because it's a game. I'm like, okay, this is actually take me a while to beat. I'm gonna put it aside until I play these other games and beat them because I promised I would. But dear God, did it just grip me in an instant?
Well, that's interesting. I definitely got to pick it up at some point.
Yeah.
Again, here's where I struggle with Firewatch on all of these lists. Has anyone else here played Firewatch?
No, but I've seen it. It's really linear and not.
It's
Very
not
good.
a game. It's an experience. You know,
Yeah.
it's not something you actively do. It's something that happens to you, and it's a great game. It's a lot of fun to play, and I struggle to see it in these best categories because it was like that game you play in February and March when games are lulling and there's not a lot coming out and you're just like, I need something new. Firewatch looked good, you know, and that's exactly the role that it fits.
Yeah, I think it did come out when there was a game lull, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out right during a game lull, and so you see it. And
Kind of. Yeah.
I saw a couple.
Did it build a community though? Because
No, because
game
you play
lulls
it. You play it and you're done. Like you don't play it and then go and play it again to see what you missed. Because it's not one of those games. It's not full of like super secrets and all these crazy lore things, and oh, maybe you can find the woman on the comms face somewhere, or you know, there's nothing like that going on. I know if you didn't play the game, you don't know what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of other games you play through it and you go back and play it again, and you're like, oh my god, if you go to that locker, there's a button in the back, and you hit the button, it opens another door, and then it opens up a whole new part of the game. That's not Firewatch. Firewatch just happens. And so seeing it on all these best game lists, I'm like, how? Like, it's fun, but it's not the best at anything. That's my mini rant on that.
Nice rant. I get that one a 7 out of 10.
I'm okay with it.
That was an okay rant. Maybe just like a backflip in the middle of it would have been better, I think.
But when I was talking to some people about this category, I agreed with them. I said I'm shocked The Witness didn't win, because when The Witness came out, everybody
you were just like, it's gonna win.
It's because when it came out, the reviews were, this has secured Game of the Year, not another thing. They were like, The Witness will win Game of the Year, was everything I was reading when the game came out. And someone said something very important when I was talking to them about it. They said, that's the struggle of putting out a game in January. And this game came out in January, and it had 11 months of games to come out and really leave an impression. Whether they were better or worse, the game that you played last week is going to stick in your head more vividly than the one that you played 11 months ago.
But who's to say that coming out in a lull doesn't help improve the game status in your own head?
You're totally right.
You choose when to release your game, and they chose that date.
Oh no, you're not wrong on that respect. I you know, like I said, there's I think every game developer knows that coming out in January puts you at a disadvantage to winning awards. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? You're coming out that far away from the awards itself. It's a pretty
Doom was released early.
And it was that good. I don't know. But here's the
so the thing is I've never heard of Witness. It doesn't look like a game that I'll ever hear about.
Well, that's the thing is, there's the other thing.
It's the independent game category, though.
It's an independent game category, but it was a puzzle game that came out in January that didn't have the broadest audience, but the people that it did go with were, like, when I talked, I had a couple people that wanted to talk to me. This was actually pretty interesting. When I was playing Ori and the Blind Forest and switched over to, what's it called? Song of the Deep. I all of a sudden grew this really awkward, kind of surprising puzzle game, like, I don't want to say fan base, but following, and all of them were just like, when are you going to play The Witness? Like, that's the game to play. So to people who play those styles of games, this was Half-Life 3. You know, The Witness was the game for puzzlers, and when you have something that fills that void so definitively and has so many people who review games saying this is one of the best games I've ever played, yeah, I'm just sort of surprised, and I can't believe I'm saying this because it's the independent game category, but I wonder if Inside's reputation and you know, backlog with...
So you say reputation, I say accessibility. So like you said,
yes,
The Witness was the game for the people who like these types of games.
Yeah.
I feel like Inside is the game for the people who normally don't like these types of games. And I think that speaks to more of the best category than others.
Yeah.
And so I don't think we actually went over the results. We just went right into it. I chose Inside. Hoop did Hyperlight, Blue did Witness, we just talked about that. But Stream also chose Inside, and that was the winner. High five, Stream.
Get the high five out of here. No high fives.
Actually,
Blocked it.
does that command still work?
The mood killer, Hippie the King.
So,
Yeah.
kind of able to skip over the next one a little bit, but I'm going to give Rams a second to defend herself. The best action game for the best game in the action genre focused on combat. Battlefield 1, Doom, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, and Titanfall 2.
Yeah,
The winner
I don't
being
know.
Doom.
I didn't see Battlefield winning that at all.
Okay, I don't. So I think it was.
Well,
the
if you base the the beginning part of Battlefield 1 as like how it goes the entire time. And
I
yeah,
know,
I can
right?
see how you would pick that, but it doesn't go like that at all.
If
the rest of the way.
if
But
the
anyway, I'm sorry.
prologue to Battlefield 1 was the whole
Yeah,
game,
the one.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
when
interrupt
you
Rams. I
die-
don't want to cut her off, but I just wanted to say that.
When you guys talk about like when
Well,
you
it's on
die
my
and switch
mind,
to another
sorry.
character, and,
Yeah,
like, you dies.
it was-
that
I
was
was-
really cool.
I
That was
played
really
that
cool.
prologue on accident because it's one of the best designs they put in Battlefield 1. Hear me out, Rams. If you haven't played it, you don't know how this works. You put the game in, you hit play, and normally I literally it was midnight. It was after a stream. I was tired, but I was like, I just got this game installed. I just want to see the menus and the UIs and see what it's all about. And I fired it up. And all of a sudden, after the screen comes up and it goes dark, all of a sudden you hear like, "It was a war that would change us all," or whatever it was. I was like, shit,
I've seen the beginning. Yeah.
I literally hit the record button because I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I want this for YouTube. Plug. And I just all of a sudden, like exhausted, was recording a video because I was like, okay, this is just happening. I didn't mean to do it. It just sort of happened to me. And it was so good. If you watch that video, you'll watch me be like, this game is going to be amazing. And 2 videos later, I'm like, fuck this game. Like,
If they'd kept
You say
that
that
kind
about
of
a lot of
feel-
games, though.
but Battlefield 1, it just goes so far off the beaten path in certain ways that it's just
Yeah,
like,
but-
it's almost unaccessible.
As of late, I feel like Battlefield in general has been a multiplayer game rather than a story game.
And that's why I
unfortunately.
chose this for this category.
But-
Because
The thing is
it
Yeah,
because
you're
of the fact that it's going to last a lot longer than Doom and
and not
well, okay,
necessarily-
not Overwatch,
So
but
the thing is,
Not necessarily. So
gameplay-wise-
action genre focused on combat, right? I
Mm-hmm.
felt that the PvP combat in Battlefield 1 was more unique than the rest of those. I feel like the people, I think the 30 is who I mostly see play this, in the communities around him. I feel like they love this game because of its uniqueness, but still being very familiar. And I felt like that was great. That was worthy of my prediction.
The thing is this is not. Is the combat unique? Is the combat
Sure,
new? It's
sure.
is the combat good?
Yep.
And dear God, did Doom just
I loved it. I
shoot
totally
its
did it.
way through this entire playlist?
Yeah.
Yep.
and going back to one of the other categories, like the music really
Yeah,
factors
yeah.
into it.
Felt
It kind
bad.
of bleeds
Made
into
the combat.
part being part of the action. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
it-
That's a very good point.
Drove the action just so much.
All you
forward.
guys and the stream was correct. I was totally off base.
Rams wrong.
It was a balls feeling choice. When you said, like, remember you said like choose with your head, choose with your heart, choose with your balls. Being like
Confirm Rams doesn't have balls. That's why she lost.
I said, please vote with your balls, and she tried. Are we wrong, Rams? Are you gonna correct us?
Are you gonna
got more
say
balls than
you
who?
have testicles?
Oh, got more balls than hoop. Oh shit.
All right. So y'all are all right. I'm wrong. It's the first time I've ever been wrong, so deal with it.
The first time she's ever been
Don't.
wrong. But yeah,
Three
that's like
dudes can be right over a woman. Confirmed.
one time ever. Oh my god.
Rams, I'm not part of these two idiots. Like, I'm not part of their group of.
What would you have
We're
chosen,
right.
Hug? I mean, you know the
What game
answer
would I
now
have
is
chosen?
Doom, but
I wouldn't
Who
have
would've
picked. I wouldn't have picked Gears
yeah, no one
Because
did.
Gears, I don't know why Gears.
because
is
I don't know personally. I love the story of it, but God, I suck at moving my character at all. Like it's weird to me. Like the controls, holding A to sprint, and you're in a third-person shooter. And I know that holding A, you have to like people that are more advanced playing that game. Have you ever seen somebody play that game that's like
Yeah.
that's like what they believe?
Everyone I saw
It's
play
crazy.
like, fuck
They
this
go
game.
from it's like cover to cover. Their characters like literally like this. Like this is how they move across the map. They're just like zigzagging between cover
Yeah.
and trying to shoot those guys. It's just ridiculous. And I just suck at moving around because I don't play third person shooters. Any shooter that I do play, I'm used to a sprint button being my thumb on my left side and then having to move it to A and holding it and then trying to hold the trigger and aim where you want to shoot. It's awkward. It's awkward to me. And then
It's something you're not used to, which is understandable.
definitely not. And Battlefield 1, I can kind of see that because, like you said, it's a unique type of shooter, but that kind of goes along with Overwatch. They're more Battlefield 1. It's a tactical shooter kind of, but it's squad based and it's more. There's a lot more action there's action, if you know what I mean. Go like as far as combat goes, and just similarities with not really similarities with Call of Duty, but it's kind of like people have that mindset of they're going to compare Battlefield with Call of Duty, and I don't know. I prefer Battlefield because of recently now, like since Battlefield 4 and now 1, like the maps that you're playing on, they're more interactive. Like they change. There's certain parts of it that change. You can collapse buildings and all that good stuff, and I don't know. That's pretty fun to me, but Doom just, I'm sorry. Doom you could play over and over again. You can do the same thing with Battlefield 1 because of the multiplayer, but God, Doom is just, I'm sorry. Doom is Doom all the way.
No, totally right. I was right.
By the way, Blue, in response to that Discord thing, the first picture totally almost looks like you.
I know, we get that a lot. We get that a whole lot, honestly. So
now he looks like a really smooth babyface Jack Black.
you know, I give him that. Oh, like honestly, I give him a more handsome Jack
I'm
Black.
more disturbed it took him 2 times to spell after, right? But anyway.
But so basically, in Discord, in my Discord, weekly apologies. Comic Valmont posted a before and after. He shaved his beard off. Normally we save our apologies for the end, but since we're addressing it now, I think it's worth pointing out. He shaved his beard off. Yeah, he does. Look at that.
High five,
and in the before picture, he does. Me and him, we share some resemblances for sure. And look at that. You clean up nicely, my friend, but you shaved your beard off. So, yeah, you should apologize. Yeah. Like, come on. That happens naturally, man. You didn't
also add an apology for looking creepy now.
No apologies yet. No apologies yet.
I don't think, I literally, okay, for the record, he thinks you look creepy. I think, I mean, it's the eyebrows up that make it a little creepy. I give you that. But I think he looks handsome. So, and that's weird.
Anyways.
Moving on.
I think we're good. Yet. Best action adventure game.
I would like to hear Hug read this one out.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I'm still here, but I gotta get some more drink.
What? Why?
Best action adventure game.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I just picked you.
The best action adventure games combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Dishonored 2, Hitman, Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet and Clank, and Uncharted 4. Winner was Dishonored 2.
Yeah. Oh wait, Dishonored 2. Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't even look. I didn't. I legitimately just picked you because I was like, we haven't heard from
Dude,
Hug
I was like, I wonder why. I saw this coming up. I was like, oh, he's gonna pick me.
No, anyway. So you were ready. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I don't know. Hug, why don't you go? Because I know you've played both Hitman and Dishonored 2.
I played the first episode of Hitman and I loved it because I don't know. It just I've always you guys know that I love Hitman because it's stealth background, and then there's Dishonored 2. But then, man, that first game of Hitman, it's been a while since I played it, but it was like a training mission, the training mission for on the boat, and I can't remember much of it after that. But Hitman's always fun because it gives you targets that you have to kill, but there's also ways. It gives you multiple options. You can do it with your suit only, no disguises, all that good stuff, or you can do it with a certain disguise. Or like the one I have a highlight that there's one where you can like poison his drink, not poison his drink, but put something in his drink. Basically, I guess you put laxatives in his drink, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. This dude, he like drinks out of it, and all of a sudden he hears character go, "Oh boy, oh my god." And he starts running to the bathroom. And then you can actually have the choice to go follow him into the bathroom, and just while he's puking, or you can do it before he pukes. You can do it before he even hits the toilet. I waited until he started puking in the toilet, and then the option is, as Hitman, you're supposed to kill this guy, was to start drowning him in the toilet. So I waited for him to puke.
And then the puke man. Yeah, do that to him, man.
It's a highlight on his channel.
I'm sorry. I could not do it.
In fact, I think you didn't do it the first time, and you went back because you're like, wait a minute, can I drown him in his puke? And did it?
Yeah, I had to. I wanted to do it.
I actually watched you play that.
I need to play the rest of those. I love the Hitman series because it's
feeling in your eyes. Oh God! Oh,
But
No, that's what I'm
No.
thinking is the smell.
these are the only two games I can actually have an opinion on. The other three I've never played before, but I've always loved the Hitman series because you have those options of there's like 20 different ways you
Yeah.
can do it. You can do it with a crowbar, you can do it with a gun, you can do it with a sniper, you can do it with like collapsing a boat on them because you're attached bombs to it, and you still have to sneak through and not be detected because if you're detected, everybody's gonna collapse on you and kill you and whatever. But so you have to be careful. And then there's Dishonored 2. I finally finished this game. I finally finished this game this past Saturday. I love the shit out of this game. I'm sorry. I
Understandable.
might be weird because I played through each level at least 2 or 3 times just to go back and do it differently every time. My two favorites are without any. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say. I'm going to
Don't
spoil it if I
spoil
talk
it.
about
Those boil.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, my two
We know
favorites.
you love it.
Right, level 4 and then level 7, I believe. The mission 7. Dude, I'm sorry if y'all haven't played through this and you haven't, you're gonna play through it. Holy crap, I love it. I'm sorry, it's just
Honestly, before when we were doing this, I played none of these games. But with the hour I spent in Hyper Light Drifter, I would have easily voted that. Easily. Again,
I have to look that up.
it absolutely just absorbed me into the game. I was literally quiet for almost the entire hour of the stream when I was playing it because I was like, oh my god. And I didn't even get that far because I'm dying trying to get used to the combat. But like, it literally, like, I was just
Wait
so
a minute.
absorbed and obsessed with playing the game. And honestly, I want to play it more, but I need to beat these other games. I want to play it more though.
I thought
Wait
it
a minute, hold on.
was-
Is this? Ooh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Looking at this game, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the trailer right now.
Oh, for
This
Hyper
looks
Light
so much
Drifter?
like Jotun that I played. The game
Yeah.
that I played, Jotun. Oh my god. Okay, I'm into this. I need to play this. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
check it out. Definitely. I think
I'm freaking out. I want to play that game now.
I thought
I
what was
did-
funny about the predictions was we all, I mean, literally on the podcast, we all were just like, it's going to be Uncharted. Like, we just all just knew.
But my heart
I
was
have-
with Dishonored.
And I actually notated on this spreadsheet that I made, he was real adamant. Blue was real adamant that his heart was for Dishonored, and which is what won. And stream was split 50-50 with Dishonored and Uncharted. I have a big, strong feeling that someone that made Uncharted, or even the team that made Uncharted, someone's very upset. This should have been like theirs, you know, like a no-brainer Uncharted win, and it didn't. And there's some really upset people over that.
I think that's good though.
Not me.
Because
Not me.
you don't think that's good?
No, I don't.
No,
think
she's
that,
not upset.
Oh
I'm not
no, I
upset.
think it's good because Arcane Studios not very known, and then Dishonored 2, it's the Dishonored series
Yeah.
is new. So,
I
and then
think
Uncharted's been
it's-
around.
I think it's partly because Dishonored kind of branched a little bit further into that adventure category, which was really good on their part.
Yeah, the levels are pretty big.
Yeah, I've
It's
heard a lot
similar
of
to the
good things
first
about the levels. The exploration seems to be pretty awesome. The verticality seems really cool.
If I gotta be honest about it, though, the between Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2, it's not that Dishonored 2 is a bad game by any means, but I'm having a very hard time enjoying it the way that I enjoyed the first game. They changed the way that it's no longer this like fight for survival and, you know, saving your name and, you know, like, I love Hug. You described it on your stream the other night. And you were like,
Look at his face, by the way.
the way
He's not pleased with you.
I know, but the way Hug described Dishonored was hysterical. Well, she had her name taken away from her, and I mean, she was dishonored. I died laughing. You said this on your stream.
Hey, you know, he's not wrong, though.
like he explained it better than that, but that's pretty much how he finished it. You know, she was dishonored, and I laughed because I frankly had never thought about it that way. But I don't know, just the first
Okay,
game. No, you did a good job of explaining it on your stream. I was
I
paraphrasing.
barely
the end of
remember it. But anyway.
But the first game, I felt like everything was dire. Every move that I made was dire. either I kill this person or I stop this person non-lethally, or I'm screwed. Whereas in Dishonored 2, it's just sort of like, I'm interested in the story and finding all the items and learning about the people in the game, but my actions don't have massive consequences the way they did in the first game.
I have heard that the Dishonored 2 is a bit easier on you when you do mess up the stealth.
I did an entire level where I murdered. I went 2 levels where I didn't kill anybody, and then I think it was the 3rd or 4th level. I murdered every person on the map, and it was still low. It was still low chaos. I killed every every person on the map. I murdered because I was so pissed. The way it was the one where the fucking window kept killing me.
It also doesn't seem like the type of game, though.
Huh?
Did you kill the window?
It also doesn't seem like your type of game.
The first one I loved. I loved it. I loved the first one. The second
When did
one
that come out?
it's just not working out the way I'd want it to. So I think I have to give up on trying to be stealthy in this one and just start murdering everyone.
Why
But
not just blend it? Just do whatever. Sneak past
Dude.
some people, shoot some people.
I know Hug likes to do
Dude.
the sneaky stuff.
Well, you said something about you don't know about the stealth, but you taught me something just by watching that first episode about the train.
Yeah,
That was pretty slick, dude.
I
That-
figured
you
something
just-
out on my own in the very first episode or very first chapter that I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's neat. And I did it, and Hug, who watched my YouTube video,
I was about to do that
he
too, actually.
he texted me and was like, bro, that train thing was brilliant. And I was like, to me, I was just like, I was walking across a pipe that went over train tracks and a train went underneath me, and I was like, I bet I
Spoilers.
could jump on that. It's not explained as to where.
Something I didn't think of. So
So
I
I
was just
mean,
like, oh.
there's stuff like that I can come up with, but there's been a couple of missions now where I've tried to be stealthy, and I just like, I get caught, and then I feel like I fucked up, and that's because
Whoa.
they were so. I actually, I hate to bring up honest game trailers into this, but they brought up a really good point about the Dishonored series. They give you these multiple intricate ways of killing people that have different answers and different ways and different methods, and they punish you relentlessly for using them. And I go, that's a really good point. This game is built around the different ways you can kill people, around the different ways you cannot kill people, but there's so many more ways to kill people than to not. And then if you kill people, you're punished for it. And I was like, that's a really good point.
What you mean punished as far as like the ending goes?
Yeah, I mean, not as
I don't
bad
think I don't see that as a punishment. I just see that as part of a different way to end the game and part of just the different story aspect of
admittedly,
the game.
I
I don't
think
see
I'm
it
just-
as a punishment.
I think I'm just jaded from BioShock. I know, here comes the Rams eye roll. But here's why. I killed one little sister in BioShock 1 and got the bad ending. One.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you can't
saved
kill any of them.
I saved every other one because I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, so I killed one. And the
Okay,
rest
good.
of them I saved, and I got the shit ending. Like, that's so punishing. What the fuck? Like,
Yep.
everyone
It's
learns
an
their
end-
lesson the
it's
hard
the
way.
Well,
ending
you killed a
you-
little girl, Blue. What'd
It's
you
the
expect?
ending you got to.
If I saw that little girl in the real world as many times as I did in that game, I would have killed all of them. They were
Dude,
I
terrifying.
Blue,
wouldn't have gone
Blue,
near
Blue,
them. They got
you
a
say-
giant needle.
I
You say
think
you got the shit ending though. If you hadn't seen the endings before you ended it, it would have just been the ending.
Oh, I was the ending,
yeah.
and then everyone commented on my YouTube video that I got the shit ending, and I was like, "What do you mean I got the shit ending?" Because I remember watching the ending, going, "Why did everyone die? What just happened? What the fuck?" And it was the shit ending. So I don't know, and I think because of that Dishonored, which is made, I believe, by the same people as BioShock, maybe not, or didn't BioShock have
it's.
It's
I know that
BioShock-
they're like a sub company of like the Elder Scrolls people. I think Bethesda.
Yeah.
Bethesda,
Yeah,
I think was.
yeah.
I think Bethesda had a hand in both.
Bethesda.
So-
Yeah, they're like a sub development team, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure, but
Good old Bud.
Irrational.
I think calling it
Okay.
calling those
irrational,
endings
2K.
the shit or
Yeah.
good ending, I think that's a matter of kind of perspective to that gamer.
Mhm.
I don't know.
No, you're
That's how I feel
well,
about
not
it.
for nothing, Hug. When I said I killed everyone in Dishonored 1, you're like, well, you got the ending where blah, 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 that happens, so that kind of sucks. And I was like, oh, god damn it. It made me feel bad. So it was the shit ending.
Okay, no, put yourself in that mindset of like okay, going into the song, my nerd's gonna show all over the place. But put yourself in the mindset of like starting from that beginning, like you're watching the Empress being killed and is being blamed on you. Just think of it like that's the super pissed off version where he just goes and kills everybody, and then like he's satisfied with himself at that end. Like the ending is like, yeah, it's a dark ending, but that's like the dark mindset of the consequences of what you're doing. And I, does that what I'm saying make sense? Like if you're putting yourself in that dark mindset, no, Rams, really?
I've had a lot to drink though, so don't mind me.
I don't know how to explain it to where I feel like it's making sense. Okay,
No, I felt like
if
the
you
first half, what
go,
you said before, it totally makes sense though. Like it's in the view of the gamer.
yeah,
Let's not
pretty
get too
much,
held
that's
up
pretty
on
much-
this though. We got
Yeah.
more of the list to go through, unfortunately.
This is true.
right? Okay.
We're just a little over halfway through. We're a little over halfway through. this
Before
week.
we
Get me
move on
talking
from
about
action
something I'm really
adventure,
into. I'll never shut up.
has anyone checked out Ratchet and Clank yet? Because that was the big like.
I've
what?
only ever watched it.
Okay, I haven't even watched
Which
it
game?
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank was also nominated for this.
Yep. I don't know. I don't have anything to say on that.
I wonder if chat has, because I'm curious.
The only Ratchet and Clank I remember was just the old PlayStation.
Right,
Ratchet
and me
Clank,
too.
that's
So
it.
we all saw this. We're like, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, a new one came out earlier this
It's cool they
year.
remade
Yeah.
it though. That's cool.
I think it
It's
was.
neat.
I'm pretty sure it was a
I mean-
remake because it went along with the movie that came out or is coming out.
There's
Well,
a
it
movie?
was a new game. Yeah, I mean, Ratchet and Clank is the definition of an action adventure game. Same as Jack and Dax and all those, though. But it's a very childish game. Is the thing. It's a very childish game, so it's not going to fit everyone's likings and enjoyment. And again, it is a platformer too.
Whose turn is it to read?
Mine.
Oh my god.
Best role-playing game. The best games designed for rich player character customization and progression, both offline and online, including massively multiplayer. I'm actually surprised that the DLC for Witcher 3 won. That actually surprised me.
I'm actually a little bummed about this one. This is the one you guys talked me out
It's a
of.
DLC.
Because I was gonna say Witcher 3, and then you guys were like, "Wait a minute, it's The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine. It's not The Witcher 3." And I was like, I guess I'll change my mind then."
Well, I mean, I won't deny the Blood and Wine DLC is good. I've watched HJ Tenchi play through it. It is a good DLC, but I mean, honestly, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. It's a DLC that got nominated, so that's pretty hardcore.
That's
Sure.
true. That's a good point.
I just feel like Dark Souls 3 altogether was a better play than Blood and Wine, but I also don't care about Witcher, so.
I wonder. So I love
Yeah, that's
watching
bullet
Dark
about
Souls
this.
3. I would never play it myself, but I wonder if it is also held up because of the legacy of the whole series. And I think that whenever they choose the nominations and choose the winners, they try not to think about the whole series. They try to think of the game by itself.
True.
And what makes Dark Souls arguably the best RPG series is the whole series itself and the lore and the even like Bloodborne and how accessible that game was and stuff like that. I think as a series, I wanted it to win, but as a standalone game,
Also, yeah. Also, Dark Souls 3 is way harder to get into.
right, it's hard.
Yeah,
It's a
I was
much
gonna
harder
say
game to get into.
I'm just intimidated by it. I've never played them because I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
something I would
Yeah,
do.
you haven't touched it because it's like, oh, it's Dark Souls.
Like I look at Dark Souls players and go, man, what happened to you when you were a kid that makes you want to do that? You know,
I love Dark Souls.
I know you do, and I wonder what happened to you as a kid that made you want to do that? Like, anyway, I honestly, I listened to somebody recently talk about the World of Warcraft expansion that came out recently. The hell's it called? Refresh my
Legion.
memory. Legion, and they
Legion.
said that this is arguably like the culmination of everything they've been building up to in World of Warcraft. That a lot of the time that they kind of abandoned this fast DLC, like let's get as much DLC. It kind of like I'm gonna get yelled at for this again. Destiny kind of doing that whole I'm gonna drop as much DLC on you guys as you can to keep the game fresh, and then them realizing they can't keep up with that because Blizzard has what 6,000 employees versus Bungie's 700, and Legion came out and they straight up said, we cannot keep up with what you guys are doing, so here's a massive expansion with multiple raids, with multiple raid bosses, and the players are just like, this is just what we wanted. This is incredible.
You almost convinced me to choose this one when you talked about Legion for your prediction. You know, because like I had mentioned, so many people we know reactivated their accounts just for Legion. So you almost convinced me with that. And Witcher.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Honestly, what's surprising is that Xenoblade's even on this list because, again, I don't hear anyone talk about Xenoblade.
Yeah.
I watched
I saw
Cassalian
two
play
people-
it for 8 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know why it's on here. There's so many
I've heard
other
of it just now.
JRPGs that I feel ended up better. So
I think it's a Wii U game, Xenoblade.
yeah, that's the other thing. It's a Wii game ended up on here. What?
Yep. So, yeah, it is kind of strange that a DLC took it, but it's kind of like, no, I was going to say Tiny Tina's DLC for Borderlands 2, which was one of the best DLCs I've ever played. I think that won best DLC that year. I don't think it won anything beyond that, but it was unreal. It was so good. I enjoyed that like crazy. But as far as DLCs go, I haven't played Blood and Wine. I don't comment on it, but The Witcher 3, from everything I've heard, is amazing. So if they made an amazing DLC and enough people played it, because I mean, think about it. It's tough if you don't have Dark Souls 3 and you're not into the Dark Souls franchise, you're not playing it. World of Warcraft, you know, what is it, 14 years later? It's really hard to just pick that game up and just be like, this is what I'm gonna play now, because you're so far
Right.
behind. So there's the accessibility of Legion, even though there's a lot of people who reactivated accounts and things like that, is still not
Well, there's Boost, but still.
exactly. But you don't have the knowledge. You might have
Right.
the leveled character, but you don't. It's like Destiny. When they say bring in the new players, here's a boost, but then you go, yeah, but here's all the things you have to know, and the players get overwhelmed. It's just, it's 10
Or here's
times
also
worse.
all the
Yeah.
also all the things that people missed by
Yeah.
boosting as well.
And
Right.
The Witcher 3, which is similar because it's such a massive story, but because it's single player, you're not competing against all these other players, trying to keep up with your friends. Lots of people already had the game, so the DLC came with the packs that they already bought or whatever. They had a chance to play it and understood it.
Yeah.
I still feel like, as far as RPG, what makes an RPG an RPG, right, is your character and developing that character, role playing, right, being drawn into it. I still feel like Dark Souls 3, particularly, you felt like what you chose to equip yourself with and you know, do as far as your actions and things. I felt like you were drawn into that character. Well, it's much the same way. But I am a little disappointed that it didn't win.
By those standards.
But Witcher, can you say that about Witcher?
I haven't played it. I don't know.
I mean, so the thing is, we're very narrow minded by RPGs, by the way. All of us talk about an RPG
Okay.
like where you make the character, you play as that character, and you get in that role. But that is not an RPG on its own, unfortunately. Now you don't get to make Geralt, right? Gerald.
Gerald.
You make Gerald, and
He's trying to save right now.
and you don't get to customize what you do. You can actually, but you don't get to like, oh, it's me. This is my Witcher. You play as this main character, but you get to actually play as this main character. You really feel as like you're playing as him. It's a thing. And we need to get past the point that, oh, you've made this character. This is your special you.
I think it's because I've been getting into this.
I think
What is this? Oh,
Dungeons and
Old Player's
Dragons.
Handbook.
yeah.
I think what's important to note here, as far as like RPG goes, looking at this list of role-playing games, the only one that like pushes all the RPG buttons on there is World of Warcraft. Dark Souls 3, you get to pick your weapon, you get to pick to a degree, you get to pick your gear, your armor, and stuff like that. But like Warcraft, you're picking your character class and your special abilities, and like that's so much more RPG than Dark Souls is. Dark Souls, you create your character, like you were saying. You create your character, you make it your own. It's like Destiny. You pick your character, you pick your weapons, you pick your armor, but you don't get to pick. You get your classes and stuff, but it's not to the same degree as those RPGs where it's like you have these super special abilities and things. I don't know.
I think the way that the weapons and armor and your abilities are used in Dark Souls is like I'm choosing to act as. It's kind of like in Skyrim when you're like I'm gonna do two-handed. I feel like that type of choice of action.
Isn't that everything in Dark Souls 3 though? Two-handed giant swords? Isn't that everything?
No, honestly, I think the chosen weapon of choice is actually a one-handed sword.
You can be a one-handed, super fast tissue paper in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, you can be a paper mache doll with a crazy sword and absolutely wreck people with bleed and luck.
Very good. But
anyway.
Anyways,
moving on, Rams, would you like to take us? Oh, did you have something, Hug?
No, I was just seeing what the next
Best
was.
strategy
Best
game.
strategy game.
Rams,
I think
would
he
you
wants
like
me to
take
read
us
this just
into,
because I was so adamant about my prediction and it totally failed. So this is.
I'll be right back. Read.
Okay, best strategy game. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based strategy gameplay. Civ 6, Fire Emblem's Fate, Banner Saga 2, Total Warhammer 2, XCOM 2. So before we go, I had chosen Total War. Hoop and Blue went XCOM 2. The stream tied again. Civ 6 and XCOM, and Civ 6 did win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not surprised Civ 6 won, honestly, because it's it's one of those games that's a lot easier to access than really any of these other RPGs. It's less punishing as well in terms of what you do.
Sure.
And it's very nice looking. It's very, very nice looking. Civ is
don't you also become like the big dude of the country?
Then that's like with every other Civ though, and that's why I was very disappointed in this win, because I was really excited for Civ 6. I like Civ games. I'm a Civ game player, and Civ 6 caught me for about 3 hours, and then I was like, I could just have stayed and played Civ 5.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit prettier, and I was so disappointed by that.
Yeah. The other thing is, Civ does have has a much bigger following than these other ones. XCOM 2 has a following, but it's like Dark Souls of RPGs.
It's so inaccessible.
It is. Yeah, it is so brutal in terms of, you lasted a week, your squad just died, the aliens have taken over, and restart.
Yeah, right. I've heard that. About that.
Yeah. I literally haven't beat the game yet. I haven't beat the game yet because the way I play, I've gotten so many people killed. It's not even funny.
So, out of all these, Hug, which ones have you seen?
The only one I've seen of XCOM 2, but I've only seen it like the cover of the game or whatever.
Sure.
Civ 6 is like the only Civilization Revolution is the only game that I've ever heard of. It's like the only game I've actually played. I've never played it on console or PC, but I played it on my phone before, and I couldn't put it down.
That's why this one really is just popularity, which is totally fine. Like it's a freaking award, like totally fine for it to win popularity.
For Total War as well.
Total War, like I was so. I mean, maybe it's just because I didn't play the other ones, and like, so Warhammer just like blew up my skirt or something. But like, I was really hoping it would get.
No, so I totally understand why you're like Total War awesome, because I love it. Again, as a Warhammer fan, I absolutely my brain melted when I saw this
Bless
game.
you.
I was gonna say but Total War games alone are very more hardcore Civ kind of feel, I'd say, and they're a little less forgiving. The Warhammer theme also limits it because not everyone wants that super fantasy feel. It's also not necessarily child friendly, and
it's gory, which was cool.
Yeah, it's gory. In fact, they even have an increased gore mod for decapitations, like severing limbs and all that shit for more blood. But again, I feel like Total War genre died off, and only like that kind of cult following stayed around.
I'm a new lover of it. There's people like me.
I fucking love it.
But see, you
I love it.
played the other ones. I didn't. I feel like there's a lot of people like me that didn't play the other ones, and Warhammer captured them. I think that the vampire playthroughs and it had a little bit more visibility in communities and Twitch and things like that. I think that it opened it up. It opened up the Warhammer series for a whole new group of people who love it.
Honestly, this year Warhammer games have been fan-fucking-tastic. Not gonna deny, I'm looking forward to Space Hulk, which comes out on Friday. You guys aren't gonna see me for a long time.
I've been trying to get a code for that. Trying to get a code.
Did you just hear Hug?
Yeah, he's pretty stoked about getting ready.
I mean, yeah, I don't care. So what? Sure, a lot of people are. Who cares? Not like Hug shows up in my stream, anyways.
Sorry, dude. Work and stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's weird hours. But yeah, I
Who's
feel
up
like
at 3 o'clock in the morning. A lot of people. I know. Shut up.
Yeah. I feel like Civ kind of took this one just because popularity and kind of ease of access.
I mean, anyone who played Civ 5 was like in line for Civ
fixes. They were in line for the Civ fix.
That makes sense, right? Everyone was lined up for it. I look at this. I have one friend who is a diehard Fire Emblem fan. So I got to hear a little bit more about Fire Emblem through him, and the way he describes it makes me go, wow, that's a game I'd hate, but I get it. The Banner Saga was not 2, but the first one was actually a free game a while ago on Xbox. I picked it up, and I've been meaning to play it ever since it came out. But
it's a fun game.
Banner Saga
I watched
2,
Journalin play that for like an hour. He tried, and he's always about like trying new things, and like he's just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah,
it is a much slower game too.
That's pacing of games is very tough for me. If a game's too slow, I struggle with it. Enter Metro 2033. But
sorry, Superman.
Sorry, Superman. Sorry, Hoop. But Civ 6 is the obvious winner here. However, moving on to best multiplayer game. Is it my turn? I think it's my turn. I'm gonna guess it's my turn. Best multiplayer game for outstanding online multiplayer game.
Wait, stop. The echo voice, do it.
I don't have it plugged in.
Shut the fuck up, Hug. Blue, just read.
I wish if I had it plugged in, I would, but it gives.
Just read it now. You disappointed me already. Just
best
read
multiplayer game for outstanding online multiplayer game and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences. Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, and Titanfall 2. The winner being Overwatch.
This was no surprise.
Yeah, no, not even a little
bit.
I'm shocked at the stream's reaction, which is...
Yeah, this is the one where the stream failed.
Yeah, stream swing and a miss, guys.
I don't see 6 bring on that list just because...
Stream tied Battlefield 1, Rainbow Six Siege, and Overwatch. 3-way tie.
Like Battlefield 1 and Overwatch, I can see getting Battlefield 1's multiplayer is super fun. I don't care what anyone else says. It's super fun.
It's fun.
And I just play what's it called? Deathmatch. Like I don't even play the cool shit. I just play the dumb shit because I'm stupid.
You don't Battlefield right. What the hell?
I know I don't Battlefield right because I only do that when I have squads and when I'm playing alone. I'm not going to be like, yeah, let me go push with these people I'm not talking to. But the Battlefield 1 multiplayer is super fun. I've played it with squads. Me and 30 and Still Gaming have played a lot of like the other game types, and it's cool. But Rainbow Six Siege, like, I watched like 3 people play that game, and they all go, "This game's a lot of fun." And I'm like, "Cool. How much is it?" And they're like, $90. And I'm like, "All right, that game has cost way too much from the get-go, and nobody cares." Like, I don't know.
It's apparently gotten better, but all I've heard about the game is complaints about hit reg, just all around hackers and things like that. And it seems like its following's very specific to CSGO players.
I was gonna say, is this like where all the trolls hang out? Like, let them have it. Like, Like, don't
And-
tell them that we don't want it. Just like,
like-
oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's a troll trap.
Overcooked, by the way, I don't know how the flying fuck it got on
I
this list.
almost
It's a
bought it
cooking
because
game.
it's on the list, and then I was like, "That's what they want me to do." So I did.
Gears
What
4
is
does not belong
Overcooked?
on this list at
Gears
all.
4 does not belong.
It's a
No.
competitive cooking game.
Yeah.
You like run around a kitchen strategically.
He's fixing to
um,
Google overburnt turkeys. By the way.
overburnt turkeys. Yeah.
Like you
And
did.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you
I-
just if you Google overcooked and go to images, it's just a lot of burnt food. But because you're all like, what is this game again?
Overcooked to cooking. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry.
But,
Just
I mean,
for hearing about it.
apparently it must have some validity. You know, it made it on the list. But I mean, it's also like if your game is over blank in 2016, it's gonna lose to Overwatch. Like, you know, like it could be called like over sex and it would still lose to Overwatch. Like Overwatch was such a strong sex.
Well, no, it would because it's very limiting adult.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna get the NC-17 rating, and you know.
Is it a VR game?
Wow, Ram. Well, we now know what to get Rams for Christmas.
VR.
PlayStation 4 VR, please. Just want to play oversexed. But I mean,
More like Rams is undersexed, right?
I don't think anyone is gonna argue that the of Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, and Titanfall 2, the most played multiplayer on that list is far and away Overwatch. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even a competition. If we use
I don't know,
this-
man. People on Dice, those Battlefield 1 fans, those Battlefield fans, period. I don't know, dude. Those are pretty dedicated people. all
You're
right?
not wrong.
Yeah, dedicated, not a lot of them.
There are.
There-
You're not wrong.
There's-
However,
there's
the
a lot.
game. When did Battlefield 1 come out? What was that? Like 2 months ago?
November.
Here's
No,
why
so
I think.
it came out a month ago. Let me just make my point real quick. It came
Okay.
out a month ago, and I'm using a very small sample size called Twitch, and it has currently 3,700 viewers. Whereas Overwatch, which came out in June, maybe no,
Yeah.
April or March or something like that. It came
March
out-
or April. March, I think.
Yeah, it was either April. Actually, yeah, it was something like that. It was the spring.
Early,
Has
early.
27,000 viewers,
Yeah.
which is almost 10 times more viewers with a much older game. That's where I'm saying you're right. Battlefield 1 has a very, I don't wait very long for games. It's mostly connection based, getting the games together. But besides that, I don't wait a lot of time for games. I find it always tells me there's tons of matches in my area. You're not wrong. There's a lot of people playing the game.
Here's
but-
why I think. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're fine. I'm talking too much.
Here's why I think Overwatch is going to win regardless. There's one advantage it has over Battlefield 1's multiplayer. If I'm right, if I'm not wrong, if you take off Blizzard's name on Overwatch, that's fine. Okay, you can compare them right there. But then Overwatch is all their extra stuff, isn't that free? Right?
Yeah.
And
but all
then
the extra
Battlefield
stuff
1, Battlefield games period. You gotta pay $40 for premium to get all these extra stuff and all these extra maps. You have to pay. So if you take Blizzard's name off of it and you have Overwatch and Battlefield, I think Overwatch is gonna win just because of the free factor. That's all.
They've
That's
added an entire map, an entire character. They've done holiday special skins that are
characters,
super
right?
fun. Yeah, two characters. Two entire characters, and they balanced them perfectly, by the way. Like, really top-notch balance in that game.
I haven't played
And-
with either of them yet. I should do that.
I love
Well,
Anna, but
That's why I think
Not
it's gonna
competitive.
it would win over that because nobody's gonna turn their nose at free. Okay, just be honest.
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I think that pretty much rounds it over. Overwatch was going to steal this one all day long. Not a whole lot of comparisons. I still think that Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1 both have really amazing multiplayer experiences. If you haven't played them, check them out for sure. But as far as the best, it's got to go to Overwatch. I'm not even the biggest Overwatch fan, but I still vote Overwatch. And not just because that's what I think is going to win, but because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And on top of everything else and the support for it and the free factor and the 60 FPS and the blah, 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 it's all there. And I definitely agree with that choice.
Bosco's asking, is he right? Titanfall
Yes, he's
DLCs
absolutely
will be
right.
free.
Yep,
Okay.
Yes,
absolutely
Titanfall 2
right.
DLCs are all free.
Well, here's why it's not going to win over Overwatch is because it's been out what, a month and a half, and Overwatch has been out for so long.
They released it right in the middle of Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, which even if it's the crappiest
Not trying to
Call of Duty,
downplay, downplay Titanfall 2 at all. It's just the fact that if we're going to talk about awards and why it won, it's been around longer. It's
We
been in
call it a
people's minds
sleeper
longer.
game at my
and
work. We still feel like this game has potential to take off. Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's a game that most people aren't going to pick up just because a lot of people didn't go out and pre-order and stand in line for it. But the people who do play it talk very highly. People that didn't want to like it. I saw people that were like, I can't wait to bash this game, pick it up, play it, and be like, I love it.
Yeah, and it's one of those games because I think they did the same thing that Gearbox did with Battleborn, which is like a month after it came out, they went, shit. So they dropped the price. They just said, let's start selling it on sales. Let's get this in people's hands, because if we can get this in people's hands, they'll start talking. Unfortunately, Gearbox didn't pan out so much, but with Titanfall, that I remember when it went on sale on Amazon or Best Buy for $30. It was on Amazon.
That was Black Friday. Yeah.
I think there was even one before Black Friday for Amazon.
It was the week of Cyber Monday.
Okay. And all of a sudden it was low, and everyone was like, I'm going to have to go pick up. I know I talked Webski into picking up because he was like, well, I'm enjoying Destiny, but I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm going to. I was like, yeah, it's on sale, man. You have to get Titanfall. And it took me 3 minutes to convince him to buy it. It's that good of a game, and with the right price point, you get it in enough hands, and then you bring the price back up and let people start talking about it. They're going to make their money back. And it's going to continue a development cycle as long as people actually give it a shot. Because as far as
last weekend was a free weekend for people,
and that's right, last weekend was a free weekend, at least on Xbox. I don't know about PlayStation.
All consoles.
So across the board, I mean, that's super huge to get people to try it out. Frankly, I wish I had streamed it personally, because I could have done a little bit of service there and tried to help it out a little bit in my tiny little itty bitty corner of the world. But it's a phenomenal game. The shooter is so good. There was a lot of complaints with the beta or the alpha. They went straight from technical test to full game, but there was a lot of complaints with the time to kill, which I never had an issue with, because every gun has a crazy short time to kill, which I don't mind. That's fine with me. You catch someone off guard, they're dead. Like, cool. That's the way it would be. If I walked into a room and someone had their back to me and it was war and I shot them in the back of the head, time to kill is 1 second. That doesn't upset me. And when you're face to face with somebody, the movement is so fast and so erratic that you can actually defend yourself by getting out of the way. It's such a well-designed shooter from the perspective of someone who loves shooters. So I really thoroughly enjoy it, and I hope that it takes off. I really genuinely do. But
Game of the year?
Yeah, we're at Game of the Year. I'm gonna
What do you want
pass.
to do most anticipated?
What do you mean most anticipated? That's right. That's not on the list, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's on the spreadsheet.
It's on the spreadsheet, but it's not on the actual
But
list.
I don't have the list of what the game options were.
Yeah.
So,
I have it.
Yeah, Rams, why don't you take it away on most
I
anticipated?
mean, I got it here too. But yeah. Well,
I thought I had it.
We skip.
Yeah, we don't have the list.
Oh, I don't have it right in front of me.
Surprise Zelda 1.
For most anticipated.
Yeah, the new
Probably
open world
because
Zelda
probably
game.
because the Switch. Probably because the Switch.
No, because it's an open world Zelda game. Guaranteed.
So
that too,
most
but-
anticipated, they had God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect
What?
Andromeda,
I'm so excited about that game.
Red Dead Redemption 2, and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wind. Okay, that was the nominations.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're surprised Zelda won, or nobody is?
I'm
No,
not.
no, so I chose Red Dead. Both of you guys chose Zelda. Stream, I didn't put on the survey because I'm cheap. And then Zelda did win. So you guys
Out
are
of that
right.
list, I would have chosen Red Dead, but
High five.
there's 5 or 6 games that I'm excited about that
gonna be a
will
good
trump
year.
any of these that were listed. Sorry.
We had to write it.
Like, there's the remake. I don't have it, but there's the remake of Crash Bandicoot, the trilogy. Like, I was a huge fan. I didn't have a PS4, PlayStation, but going over to my cousin's house, I loved playing that game.
Nostalgically, I see that being good. I don't
Nostalgia,
see it
yeah.
better than any of the games that were listed, though.
Me and Blue were Telltale fans. They're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
Oh, I gotta watch that
That's this
movie.
year,
Here's
right?
where I get yelled at.
pretty
Isn't
freaking
that coming
sweet.
out this year? This is anticipated
That's coming
for
up
2017. Okay.
Yeah, that's coming out 2017. There's also, well, for me personally, there's Justice 2 because it's a DC fighting game and Mortal Kombat. It's from NetherRealm Studios, so that's what I'm looking forward to. There's also frick.
Oh, they're remaking Bulletstorm.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Bulletstorm, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm's great.
There
you go.
Rip Blue.
Bulletstorm's gonna be fun.
I recently picked Bulletstorm up used at GameStop because I was wow, it doesn't chroma very well. Because it was $5? And I was like, yeah, for fucking Bulletstorm, this game was amazing. It's not like the game that makes me go, now I'm a gamer, but it's the game that makes the gamer in me go, oh, it's like the new what was it called? What's the game? Duke Nukem. It's like the Duke Nukem Forever we deserved. And it's so fun.
See, what's funny is you say that, but review-wise and in terms of a lot of people who played it, Bulletstorm did bad.
I know, it did terribly, but the problem was, and I played it solo, but the problem was it was not made to play solo. It's a linear story, or a linear, story-based game, narrative-driven game that's a shooter that's very Duke Nukem-esque, but if you have these crazy powers that have to basically all link to electromagnetivity? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. And if you have multiple players in the same campaign, you can chain off of each other and do this crazy cool shit that I never did, and I YouTubed it when I was done. And I'm watching people do stuff that I'm like, what? Like, that is so fucking cool. So I'm hoping when they re-release it, that me and Hugg can get into this game together, because it looks like something we're gonna love. Learn how to chain shit off of each other and just go ape shit. Like,
you know what we need to do? You know what we need to do? This would be a plug for your YouTube.
Yes,
I need to go make sure I get Bullets to.
How am I selling out? I didn't say anything.
No, I'm just saying it because this is whatever. I want to be able to play with that game of Blue. That'd be great.
Moving to other anticipated games, Last of Us 2 has got to be 2018, right?
Oh,
Last of Us 2, only me. Hello.
What do you mean only me?
I'm not a Last of Us fan, so.
Oh,
get out of here.
I'm literally going to take the day off. I'm not going to midnight release it because I want to enjoy it. I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock, make a giant fucking chocolate chip pancake breakfast, and I'm going to play the game start to finish, and I can't wait. Last
of Us is one of the most renowned, award-winning. No, don't even.
No, I'm reading chat.
It's
yeah. Oh,
I mean, not even remastered. Even before it was remastered, it was so well.
It is 2018, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, so it doesn't even fit this list. So.
But I have no words for that hoop. But you're not excited for it.
Because I don't like the first one, so why would I be excited for it?
You don't like good stories. You don't like feels.
I don't like a boring game.
You don't like what? What did he say?
I found it absolutely boring.
And you enjoyed Metro 2033, but you didn't like The Last of Us? That's you just being intentionally counterculture, and I can't support that.
I don't feel like the same at all, honestly.
I feel like this is a super hipster thing to do. Like, everyone loves this game except for Hoop and his stream.
Yeah.
The Flesh.
First of all, most people might stream like that game and hate me for not liking it.
Good.
Secondly, I don't like it because of the
But
characters.
that's what I was gonna say Flesh because they're becoming one and the same. That's what Hoop you feed off of. Is when people go, I love this game, you going, well, I hate it.
I don't feed off that at all. That's just my opinion. Sorry, mine's different.
It's a Soup's Last podcast.
I need to put white out on my skin, guys.
The only comment my coworker had about the podcast when he watched it was that one dude with the hair He said opposite of everything you guys said.
Because
the hair.
sorry, I'm on the stream because my opinion is.
That's why he's
honestly
here,
dude.
different.
That's why you're here, and we
My
love you.
opinion is
We
honestly different than you
don't
guys.
change you. Don't change you.
Yeah, you do you,
But
man.
Still, recognize how it boggles our minds.
Yeah, no, it's just not my game. It's not.
Turtle face.
Anyway,
Game of the year.
yeah, game of the year. Why don't you read it? You guys can't see the stream yet.
Yeah, we can. We've seen it. Recognize a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. I'm not surprised Overwatch won. I'm honestly not surprised that Overwatch won.
No, me neither. Out of that list, Doom's not.
I really wanted Doom to win, but
Doom's
honestly,
not going to
Overwatch.
win
I
because
don't know
If
why
you-
you,
if you
guys
compare-
talk this way. Doom should have won all day.
I'm saying it should. I would love
Like
for
I'm
it
saying,
to win, but
my
what I'm
heart
saying is the
wanted-
reason why it didn't is because Doom is like the single player.
Let me pull a blue real quick.
That's it on its own. And then the multiplayer there's multiplayer in Doom, it doesn't hold up, so people aren't going to be playing it as long. I think the reason why Overwatch has won is because people are still playing it. People will still always be playing it because of their multiplayer. Doom is
30,000
great.
people playing Overwatch on Twitch right now. I'm scrolling past Osu. There's Super Mario Galaxy. Still not seeing Doom. Oh,
Dude,
still not seeing Doom.
yeah, the other
No,
thing
Doom
is,
only has
Exactly,
150
Doom is-
viewers right now.
Doom
You're
is
not wrong.
it's not
But
as replayable as Overwatch, and there's not as many people playing it over and over like they are with Overwatch. And Titanfall 2
Well, hang
doesn't
on.
really have a chance because it's come out late.
with the exception of Hoop, who agrees that The Last of Us was like one of the best stories told
We're still
in
on this?
No. I'm
Sorry.
bringing it back around. The Last of Us had one of the best narratives in a game I've ever played, correct? And I
I've
played
never
it.
played it.
I played it
No,
one
Mass Effect.
time, and I never went back to it. I played through the game one time, and it left a mark on me, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Does
Was
that
that
mean that
recently,
it's?
though?
Does that not mean that it's? Does that mean it's not a great game?
no.
No.
But also on the other hand of Last of Us is a lot of people like it because it's a very feelsy game. I'm not a feelsy person.
I understand that. I was just giving you a hard
You're
time.
a robot.
But
We know. You're part man.
I'm just saying when you have if you sit down Hoop and you play through Hyperlight Drifter and you go, this is the best game I've ever played. Are you gonna play it for a year?
Oh, hell.
But it's an amazing experience. Does that mean it's not worthy of Game of the Year?
No.
So
But,
that's my point. Is Doom has left a lasting impression on me where I still go, God, I gotta play that game again. It was so good.
Yeah, you guys got to remember that Game of the Year is also determined by the people.
Yeah.
There is 30,000 people still playing Overwatch.
Yeah, you're right.
There's probably more than that if you're just going off the viewership of
people
Twitch.
So
watching
think about
people
so
play.
the only thing that the two games have in a similar vein is they both have a PvP mode, right?
Yeah.
I think everything else about the games are completely different. And Doom PvP, although some people really enjoy it and it's sort of a cult thing,
That's exactly what it is. It's a cult thing.
that community could have built it up and made events and made esports, and they could have done that. They didn't. Overwatch did, and that also helped it grow and become as big as it is. The popularity of Overwatch pre-esports and post-esports, it doubled. It doubled in size. It was a very popular game, and it got even more popular. I think Doom missed out on that.
And I think it's also because you talk about any Inside and Uncharted 4 is in this list. They're probably they're story-based single-player games, and that's just not that's not the way of video games right now. The way of video games is multiplayer. I think that's where it's at right now. So those aren't gonna really have a chance, but they might be great, might be worth it, but that's my opinion. I don't think
it's open world story games and multiplayer is where gaming is kind of.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
So I think Overwatch won for a couple of reasons that y'all are going to disagree with me, and that's totally cool. I've been in arguments for 2 weeks now with people about this. Overwatch as a game is accessible for all ages. And as a mom, I can tell you, I'm thinking about, when Spawn's going to start getting into playing games. There's not a lot of options. Mario, there's not a lot of options for younger gamers. And that's sad. We had options as kids.
Yep.
Kids these days don't have a lot of options for good quality games. Overwatch is one of those options, and it's fantastic. So that's a plus for being a game of the year type material. Also, social impact of Overwatch. My boss, my LGBT plus community at work, a lot of people that I know don't play a lot of video games in general. They'll play apps, they'll play Pokemon on their 3DSs, they'll play, Stardew Valley maybe on PC, but they're not gamers. They are now competitive Overwatch players. Now they started streams because of Overwatch, because they feel like there are characters that they can identify with economically.
There you go.
Thank you. That's really hard for me to say. And as LGBT plus members, even racial differences in their communities, the story itself of these mechs versus non-mechs and the war itself, I feel like there's a lot of social impact in Overwatch. And yes, you had to watch the shorts to get that, but it's there and it was prevalent in a lot of people's view of this game.
So you completely lost me. But I also hold on. I need to quickly address over chat. I need to say to Boogs over there, Psycho Smurf, I ask you to please chill. I don't want to have to mod in a stream that is to be calm. It is a buddy of mine. Boogs, I know you're one of my mods, but when you just need to just not use words like that here. As much as it's acceptable in my stream, is not acceptable here, and you should have gotten the message the first time. So please behave. That'd be fantastic.
Ooh, someone's in trouble. Ooh.
No, I'm serious, because it reflects on my community. I'm not saying it's like, oh, my personal life, but it reflects on us as well. And I don't want that. I don't want Blue to think that my community is a bunch of people who come in here and just cause trouble. I don't
kidding
need that
me? It's just flesh.
You already have flesh.
Flesh is flesh, dude.
And you have me, but it reflects on us as a community, and I don't want that bad blood between me and Hugg. So
dude,
and Blue, whatever. I fuck Hugg.
I can never have bad blood between any of you. Even with you saying stuff like that, I can never have bad blood with anyone.
Now I'm mad at him for ruining my awesome speech about Overwatch.
No, I was listening to your speech. Don't worry.
And on
YouTube, nobody knows what happens, so it's all good.
Jesus.
No, you did. I think your points are valid. But I consider myself, much to my chagrin, I consider myself a pretty generic gamer. I'm not the most I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm not the most intelligent gamer. I'm not. But I'm being honest. I'm not somebody who sits down with the witness and goes, "Cool, I can't wait for this 8 hours of struggle." Like, that's not my style. I'm like, give me a gun and let me shoot people. And every now and then I find a game I'm halfway decent at.
And watches YouTube.
Lots of my YouTube. Oh my gosh, so much of my YouTube. YouTube did their rewind came out today. Their 2016 rewind.
That.
Yeah, it's funny. But anyway, as a pretty generic gamer in that sense, where it's not like I want to be super stealthy, I want to be super puzzled, I want RPGs are my jam because I know how to min-max. No, I'm pretty middle of the road with everything. My biggest issue with Overwatch is be competitive or GTFO, and that's how I view the game. Because when I play Doom, the biggest draw to Doom and the biggest draw to Titanfall 2, the biggest draw to Uncharted 4, and the biggest draw to Inside is an accessibility to a single player game, which is not available in Overwatch at all on any level. They're close now. They're starting to do this push to get this PvE aspect in, a player versus everything aspect in. which is just like, then go play Battleborn. Like, it's already there. And
but again, no one's gonna want to change from Overwatch to Battleborn.
I understand that, but
So-
that's a personal dilemma.
Blue,
What I'm saying
you
here
think
is
that you're viewing it through streamer lens, though. So streamers that stream this are expected to be competitive and play comp. Like,
oh, I don't play comp, but when I play, but if I lose 4 games of regular gameplay by myself, there's no good single player in this. Like, I take into consideration things like or people like my regular Lagnus, who plays all of his games solo, almost exclusively a solo gamer, and I look at him and go, no wonder he never talks about Overwatch. The solo experience in Overwatch is much, much weaker than the solo experience in literally every other game that's been offered. And I think about the solo player worldwide going, Overwatch is not the choice. How does Overwatch beat these 4 other games that offer that single player mode?
Because
in 2013, 62% of gamers played games with other people.
Then
This is 2013 stats from
that's
actual
yeah, that's good information to have.
So my counter to that is, I think most people nowadays do play with people they know.
mm-hmm. So also, sorry.
Yes,
no,
sorry.
keep
Go
going.
ahead. No, I've been talking forever. So go ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, Blue, I see you, and then I see people in chat pop and be like, you have to play Overwatch competitively. And honestly, me personally, I don't feel that way. I don't play any game competitively, to be honest. But I honestly feel like Overwatch, you jump in, even if you're alone, if you find that character that you like, and you can just have fun using their abilities and just messing with people, like I like to Reinhardt. And honestly, there's times where, like, I could shield my medic, but I'd rather smash that monkey into a wall. So charging headfirst into a theme to get play of the game. So who cares? In the end, it was cool and fun.
I totally hear you.
There's also 1v1 now.
Yeah, there's 1v1 now. Which
but that's
I've tried it. I have not gotten to play a character.
I haven't gotten to play it either.
Neither, but it's fun.
I watched Mr. Fruit put out a YouTube video about it, and I really enjoyed it. So I know.
Blue, you haven't put out one?
I haven't done an Overwatch video in some time because okay, well, I'm not trying to plug too much, but one of my most successful series on YouTube ever, and this was hysterical, was I would open a single loot box and say, thank you so much for coming by and checking out this video. This loot was garbage, and I'll see you in the next one. And that would get like 100 views on that. A single box, and I did it 100 times.
In Overwatch, one of the new most played game modes is their 3v3 elimination game mode, actually.
Destiny!
Yeah, well, I mean, no, that's a lot of
Gears
games.
4.
A lot of games.
I mean, Halo's
Shooters.
what 6v6
Call of Duty has
elimination for SWAT,
elimination.
but it's the elimination game mode in general that really draw people in, and they enjoy that because you can be still casual in it, but you still feel like you're being competitive as well. So, yeah, you'll still get like super try hard Genjis and stuff, but it's really fun to delve into. Like I don't enjoy game modes like that, but I felt really like I was still doing good in Overwatch in the 3v3 mode. And I don't know, Overwatch just kind of has that feels like if you're playing a character you're enjoying and killing things, or just doing what you want to, you feel like you're doing something and that you're doing good. I mean, again, that is me personally.
And I see that as well, and I think when you play a character that you're really good at, even if you lose, but you have a good game, it feels good, right? I also feel like the joy in a game like Overwatch, also like Battleborn, also like Gigantic, is when you attempt to play a character that you're not good at. And that's why I think the 1v1 mode, the new 1v1 mode in Overwatch is so cool, is you're forced to play other characters. And it's not sweaty at all, and everyone's new to it, so it's just like, all right, let's go, and you can win or lose due to circumstance, not necessarily skill, which is a totally cool, acceptable thing to me. And you're forced to play something new, and that's exciting, that's new, and that's fresh.
I want to go back to your point with the social part of Overwatch, right? The whole race and the LGBT thing. I missed. I think I kind of missed that. Did you want to? What were you?
So I know a lot of people in my community that my social groups around here are LGBT plus supporters. I don't talk politics, but that's just sort of my world. Blizzard has gone straight out and said, yes, a lot of our characters are part of the LGBT plus community, and they're going to build more stories around that. And before they even announced that, there was suspicions and things like that. But beyond that,
just look at the
beyond cartoon characters having sex with each other, I mean, beyond sex, you know what I mean? Like beyond that, there was characters that people saw and connected with on a personal level. Not even the LGBT plus characters, other characters. Like I said,
it's an exceptionally diverse group of characters.
Very diverse group of characters.
I remember the first time that I saw Zarya, I was like, oh fuck, we're gonna have shit going down. Like I remember seeing that and just being like, that is a woman built like Marcus Phoenix with pink hair. Like the shit is going down, and not because I had an issue with it at all, but because I work in marketing, I work on social media. I know how the world operates, and I'm just fuck. And it didn't go that way. You have people like Genji and Hanzo that are built like Adonis, but then you have Torbjorn who's Torbjorn, he's this short little guy who's like, well, I'm not very fast and I don't shoot real well, so let me build crap. Like, we all work to our strengths, and they do a very good job in that way. Absolutely. I mean, that's a very good point. I really
May. I hate May. She's a cold, hell freezing.
I hate playing against her.
Bitch.
I tell you what, she got hips that go on forever.
All this talk.
Overweight woman. It is
all this talk on
nice
Overwatch. I have to go back and download it. I have to go play it again. I have to try to get. No, it's just like we've been talking about it. It's been in half the categories. It's like I feel bad because I played it for like a week, and I need to go back and actually try to get into it with Blue or something and Rams.
Let's Division on Saturday and then do some Overwatch.
What's that?
Let's do some Overwatch after Division on Saturday.
Okay, yeah. Sounds
you
good.
guys should be on at my time so we can all play.
Oh yeah, totally. Let me just go quit my job.
Okay, or yeah.
It's the weekend.
I can't this weekend, but I appreciate it.
I guess.
So outside of the social economical, the story of that in the war and how that's affecting the players and stuff like that. Think about the first short that made you like tear up, right? Bastion short. I think that was the one that really started capturing people.
I thought it was cool.
That is truly just a story about someone.
And
someone that feels like they. Me?
Yeah, you cut out.
No, you just cut out the moment.
Oh, it's someone that it's a story about someone who feels alone and feels like everything they do hurts someone. Who can't, in some form or fashion, connect to that?
I mean,
and it's a freaking robot.
Absolutely, but I mean, at the same time, though, as far as it's a freaking robot and tying it into another game on this list, Titanfall 2 straight up feels at the end of the game. And if you didn't play the campaign mode, at the end, that robot, I'm not going to spoil anything, but that robot like looks you in the eyes and basically is just like, good luck. And you're just like, no! Like, it's amazing. And I'm pretty sure I titled one of my YouTube videos something along the lines of like, how come this makes me feel things? Like, it was heartbreaking because I was so obsessed with this character that wasn't real, just like Bastion. And so, I mean, hashtag sellout. But it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I get all of the things that you're saying. But as far as, unless you are a competitive multiplayer.
No, I would not agree.
I'm
not competitive. I would play comp and I get really salty about it. I'd be like, screw it. I'll just go to non and it'd be all gravy.
Comp is competitive, right?
Competitive. Yep. There's a competitive
Okay, I'll just
mode.
make sure. Like,
I would consider the casual playlist competitive though. I think
there's also kids don't play against other players. They play in PvE. You can play against the computer.
True.
Full matches in different skill levels.
But
so Blue, if you really want to
usually computer difficulties in multiplayer games like that, they're gonna have. I don't know how it is when you put it on like the hardest.
It's hard.
Computer difficulty. They're basically like they snap right to wherever you are, no matter what. Like if you barely shoot them, they automatically snap.
I hate facing AI in shooters. It's like
it's
boop,
very
to your
hard.
Head.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like you need to be competitive to play Overwatch. Maybe competitive Overwatch, yes, and maybe a little bit the 3v3 and the 1v1 a little bit, but just regular 6v6, nah, you can screw around with that all you want. Honestly, you'll irritate some people who are trying to be competitive or just tryhards, but you'll have your fun. Screw it, doesn't mean anything. You'll get experience, you'll get boxes anyways. You lost the game, you said fun, who cares?
I mean, I guess where I just struggle is maybe this is old school. Maybe it's just because I've been playing games literally my entire life. But when I look
Older than you.
like 3 years, 2 years, fuck off. And the other two are babies. But so
2.5 years is baby. Yep, totally.
that's 5 years younger
Anyway,
than Rams.
continue with your point, sir.
my point being is when I buy a game, and this is how serious I was about it. When even this goes back to Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, is I bought those initially for the story. 2 was a little bit more of a letdown, but 4, my God, the story.
4 was great, dude. That even got my dad playing video
always
games.
buy a game for the story mode first. I'm that guy, and I know you all know somebody like this, and if you don't, you know one now that plays the story before ever touching multiplayer.
That's me too.
Always been my
lot of
go-to.
people.
That's always been my style. And so when I look at like Game of the Year going back, you know, people fucking raved about Halo 2's multiplayer. But Halo 2's story is where I started with that game. And that story is fucking incredible. So it's like they offered a slice of everything. And even Titanfall, whose real winner, no, actually, I can't even pick one. The story, although short, was amazing, but you sit down and play through the story in 2 sittings, even as a casual. You play through it in 2 or 3 sittings. It's not
Pretty
very
disappointing.
long. The amount of time that it takes to beat is disappointing, but the actual
I'm just talking about.
the gameplay.
I'm not talking
isn't.
about just Titanfall 2, but like you said, your background is like playing games for their story, and I'm the same way too. But they've slowly gone from less focus on story and more on multiplayer. When back then with like Call of Duty and Halo, like Halo 2 and 3, like that was like split down the middle, and they're both just as good as the other. But now it's more over to multiplayer, competitive stuff. And I think that's a letdown because these games that come out, they're like 5-hour campaigns now. They used to be like 8, 9, 10 hours and worth a damn to, go through and talk about.
Yeah, campaigns.
Now they're
as of
not.
late,
Not really.
if it's not a story-based game, a lot of campaigns have been very short. Honestly, even story-based, like Fallout, for example, its story was pretty short, honestly. Its actual story is pretty short. Most of the game time is just filler. Side missions, building a base, stuff like that. And, but yeah, I am a little sad that that's where
Cody,
games are going.
You remember story? I remember.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when we had story? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
But Pepperidge Farm.
They're also they're not only short, they also don't seem to have a lot of context to them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they are. They're pretty shallow.
there's nothing to make you like care about it and want to play it over again or anything like that. It's just okay,
But
cool.
I'd say there's 2 standouts on this list of Game of the Year: Overwatch and Inside, and that's because Inside has a solo-only, single-player story-based mode, and Overwatch has the opposite. It's just multiplayer mode. I know you can play it with bots, but you can say that about a lot of games.
Well,
Doom-
it's still technically multiplayer.
Yeah, Doom, Titanfall 2, and Uncharted 4 all have both. Uncharted 4's multiplayer is actually really unconventional and super interesting. It's not, not a lot of people are talking about it, but watching, frankly, I watched Mr. Fruit play it on a couple of different episodes, and it was really interesting. YouTube. It was super interesting because instead of just this generic, like, cover shooter third person or first person with lots of movement mechanics or something, it was this, like, it was just different. It felt good. You were using vines to swing across the map and stuff, and you had pretty standard guns and things. It was just kind of interesting watching such a different multiplayer experience.
Tomb Raider is the same thing, I think.
Yeah. The
They have
thing
the
is,
same-
is
they're
so-
made by the same people.
These games have really good, interesting things. Is Uncharted 4, you hear about the story, but not about the multiplayer. That's sadly half the game. Doom, you hear about the story, but not the multiplayer, because then that, again, is sadly half the game. Inside, well, that's an entire game, but Titanfall, you hear about both. I don't hear amazingly good or amazingly bad about either one. So I kind of feel like Overwatch takes it just, I only hear, except for you salty people out there, I only really hear good things about the multiplayer in Overwatch, and it only has multiplayer, so it is 100% of the game that is good.
But it also has story.
It does have story, but
not.
I'm talking about what's in the game.
Sure, not gameplay story. I get that. I get that. I don't think that's worthy of not letting it be Game of the Year at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's like saying a game that's purely story can't be Game of the Year, or a game that's purely PvP can't be. If a game is purely story, don't you think it deserves Game of the Year if it's worth it? Yeah, just in the same way, if it's purely PvP, it also deserves to be up there if it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this come from? I didn't say I didn't like Titan.
What are you? Okay, you are not allowed to play with things anymore, Hugg.
What are you talking about? What? What do you mean?
I'm hearing all these sounds coming through your mind.
I hear change. That's all I hear.
It's coins I'm messing with. Sorry. That's...
He's got to go to the vending machine for dinner.
But
Don't make fun of him.
What's that?
We're just giving you a hard time.
Cat, move.
Sorry, here, look. They're throwing across the floor.
No, I mean, it is...
Blue, you gonna go pick those up?
My real do what I want.
But I would... It is what it is. I get why Overwatch won. I just sort of look at Doom as this really intricate single player, and I look at Titanfall as this two-headed monster that's getting seriously overlooked, and then Overwatch or Uncharted, everyone talks about how groundbreaking its visuals were, and how, like, I'm not even an Overwatch fan, but I've seen enough of it to know that they're not bullshit. Nobody's you know, talking shit, and I just sort of look at this list and go, I just wonder how Overwatch, which is very one-dimensional in terms of its gameplay for the standard gamer, I really do appreciate all those other aspects of the diversity of the characters and its relatability and all that stuff. But I do wonder about the number of people that I talk to through my stream and in the rest of the world where, you know, the real life is what I mean by that.
Yeah.
That it doesn't have that solo player experience that I really think is important to a full game, especially on console at $60. Because I loved Overwatch when it came out. I still love Overwatch. I tried to convince some friends to buy it, and they're like, it's $60 for just a multiplayer. I'm sorry, I'd buy
Should have
any
bought on
other
PC
game.
for 40.
But not everyone has a PC. You know, the thing is PC gaming is an uptick right now, but it's still probably not going to beat out consoles because the average, you know, mom or dad sitting at home, you know, with a kid just doesn't sit down a PC game. They buy a PS. The average, Rams, you're not the average. Yeah. You work in the games industry. But I'm saying for the average, you know, parent or hardworking professional, they sit down with their PS4 and go, man, I really can't wait to finish this campaign I've been playing for the last 2 months, because they're casual gamers. And to say I'm going to spend $60 on a game that's just PvP, that's rough.
Blue, you know how much I appreciate Titanfall 2, right?
Yeah.
I do appreciate. I think it's underrated as well. I think it's a sleeper. I think it's going to still grow. I think it has potential to continue to grow. That story is short.
It is. You're not wrong.
I don't think you could even say like it's a half and half game. It's not. It's not a half and half game. It's a very, very short story and some great PvP. It's a great short story, but it is a few hours long, and that's it. I don't think that's worthy of discounting the take out all the social impact of Overwatch and just think of the gameplay. Being able, the MOBA feel of being able to is something on fire?
That's me. I have a candle right next to me and it just burned out.
Oh, okay, I saw that.
I was like, I saw it kind of come up and I was like, Yes, no, that was.
I'm sorry.
I have a
you were on
candle that
fire.
just literally just died, and I was like, "What the shit?" Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry. So to being able to perfect or really master or even just get good at one or two or each of the characters and learn, they go for the achievements. I'm an achievement hunter, and there's that inside the game. So to say that this 2 hours of gameplay with really good PvP outweighs all that Overwatch has to offer, you're selling Overwatch short.
I guess. I just. I can only escort a car from point A to point B so many times.
Yeah.
You know?
So the thing is again, on the other hand, we keep Blue. You talking about how you're talking to your friends. Problem is that is a very, very small amount of people. I'm not saying Blue. I'm not saying, oh, you don't know. I'm saying you could know fucking
Says you have no
1,000
friends.
people, but those 1,000 people don't mean shit to the world, unfortunately. And in the world, Overwatch exploded. Those 1,000 people are easily just outnumbered by the people in Korea playing this game professionally. Like, we need to think about the numbers in this game. Game of the Year is probably the most open in terms of the people have the voice for this, and the most voices are screaming Overwatch. Most voices are screaming Overwatch, and all these people probably played Titanfall, Doom, probably love them too, but they're now playing Overwatch. It's what's got their attention. It's what got their voice, and they're gonna say that. They're like, yeah, Doom was great, Uncharted was good, Inside, Titanfall, yeah, that story was absolutely cool. The robot and cool, awesome. But I'm playing Overwatch now. I'm still playing Overwatch. I was playing Overwatch 6 months ago. I'm still playing Overwatch now. And I got yesterday, dude someone off the map with the Reinhardt hammer, shot someone in the face with McCree. It's just what's being talked about. It's what's current. Sadly. Not
Also,
me.
Matt Mercer is my celebrity crush.
I just like super exploded into super hipster mode there. It's not what's current, man, you know? No, but like it's the voice of the people that have Game of the Year. And again, the voice is just Overwatch.
Matt Mercer's bae. That's what you're saying.
Matt Mercer's a fantastic guy, but I hate McCree.
I hear you. Yeah.
So I know that when we did our predictions, we did our heart, head, and balls, and I feel like your heart was way too, your heart was stronger than any of the others. Your balls or your head, which is great because you're a heart person.
Yeah, I am.
But you can't jerk off the heart.
Wait.
that went downhill quick. Yeah, bye Hug.
And Hug's out. Bye Hug.
Hug's done. He quit. Hug quit. All right. So on that note, it is what it is. I can't change it. I understand it. I still don't fully agree with it, but I respect it. But we are over time by a whole bunch, which is awesome. I'm not upset about that at all.
Crazy,
But
yeah.
I was recently on a podcast that went way too long, and I don't want to turn it into that. 2-hour podcast literally doubled in time over the weekend, and I can barely sit through Titanic as it is. So we're gonna send off a raid after we quickly say our apologies. We're gonna go really quick. I'm not gonna let Hoop build up to nothing. So Hoop, you're first, man. He's down there. Do it.
I didn't murder anyone this week.
You're sorry about that?
I'm sorry, chat. No, that's not true. I murdered a bunch of people. Actually, I want to apologize to the little girl in Fallout 4 whose father I shot in front of her because I wanted his hat.
Yep, that's what I expected. Always something. Rams, we offer this up to everybody. You are not expected to apologize, but if you have an apology that you would like to get off your chest, you're more than welcome.
I apologize to his name is SOBESSOBE. That's the screen name. he was in a chat I was monitoring, and like I guess I was just a little bristly this morning, and like I instantly was just like, "What the fuck, dude?" And like got in an argument with him, and he was actually a big supporter of the stream, and was actually a several month sub that just forgot to renew. And yeah,
I've
and
done that.
I I apologize to SOB for being very bristly this morning.
Yep, I've done that for sure. That's why I tell people don't mod me, and then they do. I think I'm like 1 for 30 on
I
mod
didn't purge
actions.
or ban them, but I started arguing with them for no.
Hug, you got anything?
Not until we started this podcast when Comic put in his picture in Discord, called him a creep.
You did.
Said he
You
looked
did.
like-
You
said he looked creepy.
absolutely called Comic a creep. You absolutely called Comic a creep.
So wait, I just have to apologize to Comic for still thinking he looks creepy.
So apparently ShadowCon apologizes to Blue for ruining his chance. What? I don't. What are you talking about? A chance of
Ruined
what?
his chance to raid him.
Oh, you did. We were deep in discussion about rating you, and it was gone.
We
Took
were?
that- Yeah.
I mean, we were just listening off people.
Okay.
Check your Twitter.
Poop. God damn it.
Dropping the truth.
So
However, says he's sorry.
We
He's
all
this good
agreed,
looking.
and you didn't respond, so we assumed you'd read by silence.
So in Discord, Deej says, I'd love to apologize to my boy Robocop, aka Dwayne Allen, for not having faith in him to beat Blue this week in fantasy. And I'd like to apologize to Comic Valmont for thinking that he was Blue in his before picture. See, everyone seems to think we're the same freaking person when he
I like how we're suddenly glazing over that. Blue, did you give him an apology
I
yet?
haven't yet. I'm just reading through the ones that I'm seeing really quick. Unholy Carp says, I apologize to my mom and sister for storming out of the house when I'm mad and rage driving and not accepting their calls when I'm doing that. That's all too serious, man. You should, don't rage drive. That's like, you're going to
Same
die.
I mean, you shouldn't accept calls.
That's me
when
coming
driving
home from
anyway.
work.
Yeah.
I'm 45.
Good on you.
It's
I
true.
hope you feel better, Unholy Carp.
Yeah, I hope you can. Let's work together sometime, Carb, and try to find a nice, healthy way to expel that kind of anger. That's no good, man. But it's a good thing to apologize for. I'm sorry for that bus full of people. I let out a loud, wet one just as I got off the bus, and I can guarantee it left a stench. Bosco, thank you
Probably
so much.
a mark.
There's
too.
not a
Your-
weekly apology session without a fart joke.
I know.
Well,
Thank you
part
for
one.
your continued support. That's top notch. So as for me, struggling just a little bit, but I would have to say I apologize to Dead Space 2. I apologize to Dead Space 2 because although I still stand by the fact that the ending of that game is just on par with like the ending of so many horrible movies and TV shows, I seriously overreacted towards the end of that game because I was tired and frustrated to begin with. But I put up quite a hissy fit finishing that game off on Monday. And
Finishing it off.
I still stand by the fact that the ending of that game is just horrendous. But it was I feel as if I overreacted. So I apologize both to Dead Space 2 and to the people of the stream who just sat there and just cringed through the entire 45 minutes I struggled with the end of that game. Because it was in no way a pleasant experience for anyone, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so that has been Weekly Apologies here with Ramsbug, Hoop, Hug, and myself. Rams, would you like to plug yourself again real quick?
I am Ramsbug.
I'm modding stuff.
Yeah,
If you wanna
she's an
follow me-
amazing. She's an amazing mod. Wonderful lady. Super
If you want to
nice.
see stupid
Her
pictures
Twitch name
of
is
like
Pink.
stuff, what?
Huh?
If you want to see stupid pictures and whoever I'm listening to and following, which these guys I don't know which direction for sure, but I also watch a lot of other people too, and I like to support them on my Twitter. So you can follow me at Ramsbug on Twitter if you want to see where I'm at.
Hope.
And Crazy Hippie, I stream here on Twitch. You'll find me on Twitter under Crazy Hippie 69 as per usual. You'll find me everywhere. Again, I stream every day. Friday Caster. I love Beaner.
You love Peener or what?
I love being here.
Sorry.
It did sound like
love
it did
wieners.
sound like that.
Oh, yes. Just thick, juicy sausages. They're amazing.
All right. Cool.
Hug, where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/u_need_a_hug because underscores are the greatest thing ever.
Right there,
created.
it's listed right there, right now, underneath his.
You need an
there it
underscore?
is.
Hello?
And then on Twitter used to be the same thing with the underscores, but now it's Hug on Twitch. So give me a follow there.
Which was right there a second ago.
YouTube is You Need A Hug with no spaces, no underscores, anything like that. Stream, as far as my streaming goes, I try to stream. I would like to have a schedule saying like maybe 7:30 Central Standard Time Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and then Saturday mornings if I'm not working. And then that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Cool.
Well done, Hug. And
It's good. Professional as fuck, dude.
professional as fuck. Professional.
Mine's like
AF.
I'm
wasn't-
Ramsbug.
Yeah,
Wasn't-
right. That was.
wasn't.
I wish that face was just an emote. But I'm the Blue Ranger. I stream on this channel. I have what's it called? A YouTube channel. YouTube.com/OnTheBlueRanger. You can see me. You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, everything. I'm the Blue Ranger. And yeah, I'm right here. If you're on this channel and you're watching this show, we're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Rams, once again, it was an absolute pleasure having you back.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great having you.
And as we always sign off. Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. We're gonna shoot off a raid, guys. We're gonna
There
be
you
after.
go.
Yeah. See, Hoop yells at me after every stream for not hyping up a raid. So we're gonna
Yeah.
say sorry in a second, guys. But we're gonna throw a raid, or I'm gonna.
Gotta
announce
say
the
sorry,
first.
raid.
So it's going to be a sorry raid, and we're going to be raiding the host from last week, Bullet Hard Tank, as he is playing what looks like Crash Team Racing, which was my game of choice when I was 13. So that's fucking awesome. So we're going to send him some love in a second, guys. We're going to send him a sorry raid. And I really appreciate you all being here. And as always, gang, one big apology. Sorry. Thanks for coming by,
This is not
everyone.
choreographed at all.
I know, we did a really terrible job there.
I don't actually follow Tank.